Coming to you live from Norwalk, Connecticut, it's the National Havoc Robot League's 2026 Pro Tour! Live on the Zone. Welcome to the National Havoc Robot League Pro Tour! Live on the Zone.
Power On is on fire! Not even a piece of plastic anymore!
Megatron, Jameson Go taking advantage.
This is your home! No one can take this from you!
Big hits, massive destruction, live on the Zone.
Welcome to the National Havoc Robot League's 2026 Pro Tour! It's our first event of the season and the robots are amazing, the fights have been incredible, and we have so much more in store! Joining me today to call all of this action are my good friends Kyle Crows and Adam Wrigley. Boys, take it away!
Thank you so much, Mr. Hansen. We are so happy to be with you live on the Zone. My name is Kyle Crows. With me is our resident combat robotics analyst, Adam Wrigley. Adam, how are you feeling after today?
I am pumped. We have been here all day long, whittling down the best of the best to the top 8 robots in each weight class. Only one robot can take it home. We are going to be battling it out in a single elimination tournament all night. Should be amazing.
So excited. Let's get into our very first bracket right now. 12-pound division. The bot to watch is David Dreyer and Xenomorph. This is a massive disc, powerful weapon. Love everything about this machine.
They are coming in not unbeaten at 2-1, but they have been hitting harder than anyone, literally cleaving bots in two tonight.
Absolutely. This is a robot peaking right now in their career. It's incredible to watch. Let's check out the rest of this bracket.
Xenomorph is going to be going up against Torrent at the top of the bracket. That's a hard fight to get through because every one of these bots has been battling all day to earn their fight in the top 8. Should be brutal.
Absolutely. We have multiple tournament champions in this bracket. I love the 12-pound division. Best driving in the game. Let's look at our next bracket with our friends in the play-by-play booth.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Like he said, we are in the play-by-play booth. I'm Ricky Willems.
I'm Dima Papazian.
And we are going to bring you all of the action all day long, calling every fight with every screen in the house, every camera in the house ready to go. I am super excited about the 3-pound bracket, but I'll tell you what, Dima is even more so.
I'm really excited because Julian, my older brother, is piloting the robot that I used to pilot to an open qualifier victory in 2024, Turbo Fiend. This robot is exciting. It does the fundamentals well. It's 2 wheels and a weapon, and it's impossible to kill. But we have our full bracket here. Turbo Fiend is going to be going up against Brian Boxall's Eruption.
Fragment X is going to be going up against Colossus to finish off the bottom half of the bracket. Rhino and Warhard, which has been putting on a crazy show.
We also have Pipeline Punch and Anubis, 2 exhilarating vertical spinners. But we're going to kick it back over to my friends Adam and Kyle.
Our last bracket. Last bracket is the 30-pound weight class. These are the big boys. That's right. Big in name and big in size.
The bracket might be the same size, but the bots weigh 30 pounds each. Every one of these is going to be a banger. Kazad Light, the reigning world champion. Megatron, a 2-time world champion. All here tonight in the top 8. We're going to start with this Megatron Dead Rise fight. Absolutely insane robots.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors right now. From Maryland, it's Joe Copenhaver. He's representing Honeycracked and his robot, Dead Rise.
And he'll be fighting from Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's Jameson Go and Megatron!
2 of the deadliest bots in the weight class. We are loaded in, ready to go. Let's go to our friends Ricky and Dima in the bunker.
Thanks so much. We are reporting here from over 5 miles underground from the play-by-play booth. This is going to be a killer fight.
Absolutely. Maryland Pride here for you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away
Robots
we go.
fight.
Take a look here. That is a sharp start from Megatron, immediately getting under Dead Rise.
Dead Rise needs a minute to find their footing. Do they have a minute to spare?
Dead Rise flipping itself upside down. That is a strong gyro from that weapon. Cutting it
into the
groove.
ground.
Yes. Flipping end over end. Very little control on display, but it only takes one good hit from that massive weapon to deal a death blow from Dead Rise.
This is the power of Megatron's ground game. You can't get anything started, and it knocks you around just by existing.
You can take a look at the top of Dead Rise. Has that white armor applied. You can't see the Maryland livery you usually can. Wow, what a hit! That armor on the top is going to give it a little bit of an extra life, but there's no armor on the bottom. Is Jameson going to capitalize? He does! That is a major dent in the bottom of Dead Rise, and suddenly its right-hand side isn't driving so well. Take a look. It is limping hard. The left-hand side driving fine, but the right is sitting immobile. Jameson lining up a second big hit, and there it is. Pieces of plastic going flying.
These are huge hits. I'm surprised Dead Rise is still standing, I have to be honest.
That is a lot of plastic on the top of the robot, but you can see it is cleaved almost in half. Another hit like that could be deadly. And look, the left-hand side on drive is barely enough to keep Dead Rise in this fight. The right side completely disabled as it just limps against the wall of the arena before taking another hit from Jameson.
Joe keeps backing up against the kick plates like a boxer on the ropes.
Interesting, this strategy of kind of going in for the kill and then backing off. Megatron is very cautious in this fight.
Jameson go ever the all-star driver.
Oh, here it comes. That is quite a positioning for Megatron under Dead Rise. Look at this gyro dance on display. That is one way to attack an opponent, let me tell you.
Slamming their weapon into the wall gets them right side up, but at what cost? And we're doing it again.
Look at this. The armor package on the back of Dead Rise is hanging loose. That is extremely vulnerable area. One hit there from Megatron, and it's gonna be all over. 20 seconds left in this match, and Dead Rise comes to a halt. This could be a count out, and Jameson doesn't care. He goes in for another big hit before Dead Rise comes back from the grave. The dead are truly rising in this fight and falling and rising over again. A pirouette as Dead Rise moves out of control, and your fight will be going to the judges.
I don't like speaking too soon, but I think we have a pretty good idea of who the judges are going to choose in this one.
Without a doubt, I can't say enough. Look at this prove it period after the end of the match. They get a chance to display functionality, and you could see Megatron dancing around, showing everything works basically perfectly. Maybe a few paint scratches, but that'll buff out.
Exactly. Megatron functioning basically perfectly, as good as it was when it went into the cage. Cannot say the same for Dead Rise.
Yes, that was a tremendous amount of damage sustained over the course of that fight by Dead Rise. And to do that and still be breakdancing at the end of a fight, there's something to be said for that. Let's look at the replay, Dima. You can see immediately Megatron is able to get under Dead Rise almost effortlessly. That weapon was not able to make contact on Megatron basically at all in any meaningful way.
Megatron's weapon is obviously frightening, but the ground game is really terrifying. You see in a lot of these replays, Dead Rise can't get anything going. Even just walking up to Megatron, you have forks inside of forks, and you have wheel guards over the top. You just can't get any offense started.
It's almost a misnomer to call Dead Rise's front forks forks. They are there for stability purposes only. They rarely get under an opponent. Generally, this robot relies on its massive spinning disc to outreach its opponent, and against Megatron, that's just not going to work.
The defense on Dead Rise is, in essence, the weapon. Best defense is a good offense, obviously. Let's go to Sam Cageside, who have some more info for us from the builders themselves.
I do, Dima. I am here with Joe from Dead Rise and J-Mo from Megatron. And Joe, this is your first time fighting two-time world champion Megatron. Was that everything you had expected of that match?
Everything and more, baby. So J-Mo is a control robot, and the only way to be control is removing that element and just bringing an element of chaos into the arena. And I don't bet you, I thought we brought it.
You definitely brought the chaos. And J-Mo, how do you adapt when your robot you're fighting is hovering around the arena?
You gotta have patience. Like, there's so many times where he's trying to come over the top. I know exactly what he's trying to do after that first engagement. And that one where he came across the box, I was basically lining up to make sure, oh man, do not want to be in that spot. Just make sure, understand where he's going, back off, be patient, and trying to take crazy hits from crazy directions. I already did that earlier today. We're not doing that again.
All right. Well, this judge's decision is in, and your winner is Megatron. Yeah!
Wow, that was one devastating matchup. It was incredible to see Jameson just control that chaos.
What happened at the end of that fight?
When it started riding itself
sideways, pirouetting around the arena, bouncing off the walls. I've never seen that.
That's just the sidewinder technique, you know? You just get up on your side wheels and go.
He pushed L2 on the controller, and that's what happened. But let's take a look. Early on, you could see Dead Rise coming in over the top of Megatron, trying to come over the armor package. Wasn't working for them. The forks here are made to ride up and over Megatron. They were not trying to win the ground game. They were trying to win the air game. Couldn't make it happen. Megatron, like Jameson said, control, patience, waiting to get these hits when Dead Rise couldn't do anything, backing off when the angle wasn't there. And look at this. He's stepping out of the way.
And Joe loves it. He was so excited about that move. I think that's great. I mean,
it did it 2 or 3 more times after that.
If you only have one wheel, use it to all of your capability right there. All right, so we are ready to meet our next competitor from Roseholman Combat Robotics. It's Carter Kurtz and Gord.
And they'll be up against from New York and Scrapyard Robotics. It's Max Renas and Megabot!
We are going into Cage 1 for this big bot action. Let's go to our friends in the play-by-play booth to call it.
Thank you. Let's check it out. Seed number 5, Gord. Only 2 events under its belt, but it has been knocking out opponents left and right 70% of the time. A 6-2 record by percentage is fantastic, and it has an 81% win probability based on the statistics in this fight.
Macabot has a worse record and a lower KO percentage, but he has a lot more fights under his belt, and this is not his only robot. He's been competing with Power On in the 3 pounds all day. I have a feeling he is fresh and ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Gord coming quick out of the corner, getting the best of Macabot 2-3 times in a row. The ground game on Gord has been unstoppable today. We'll see if they last. Another huge hit on the back of Macabot, sending it head over heels twice in a row. There are gashes already in the side armor on Macabot, and Gord is wasting no time in turning this into another violent fight.
Gord is doing their game plan, and Power On is basically not.
Look at this, Macabot doing the thing. It stuck itself upside down, and wow, what a hit!
As soon as Makabot calls for the unstick, they take their opportunity.
And now Gord, though, pausing, stopping. What's going on?
Might be electrical issues when you see them spin down like that and they pause.
Something is going on with Gord. We have not seen this from them before, and it could be the difference in this fight. They're not usually driving like a control bot the way that they are right now. That is not a good sign.
Power on is no unstick though, and they are stuck.
They are stuck, and the weapon is spinning back up on Gord. Can Makabot get free?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gord taking home a win and looking good doing it. What a performance. Although I gotta say, I think something is awry inside that robot.
Oh, I sure hope they figure it out, because right now they are undefeated for the whole day. They are 3-0 making into this bracket, and now they are 4-0.
An incredible run from Gord. A reasonably good performance from Makabot despite the struggles. Let's see what went wrong for them. They got a good hit right off the bat, but they tried to launch themselves into the ground game of Gord, and any competitor they've faced today will tell you that Gord just can't be beat that way.
When they were in the corner like this, they got juggled, and here's where they started taking some real damage, like you mentioned, those gashes on the bottom plate. But all of that time spent upside down is what really burnt them out.
Yeah, once those motors start to get overstressed by slapping a weapon against the arena floor like that, they can't even, look, it's trying to self-right, and it can't because that motor has been toasted to a crisp. It doesn't have the juice left in it. This made them require an unstick, and as soon as that happens, boom, huge hit from Gord to just completely drive home the victory. Let's go to Sam, who's cage side with more.
Thank you, Ricky. I am here with the Gord team, and amazing so far, 4-0, incredible. But what's going on with your weapon?
Yeah, so at the last Norwalk event, we had a couple different weapon issues. We had some belt slippage, some minor things. This time, given that we took some pretty hard hits, we'd probably need to disassemble the weapon stack, see if anything's locked up, anything's jammed and not moving, and then fix it for our next fight.
All right, but you've got a good team behind you. You're going to be able to make these fixes before your next fight?
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely improved a lot since our last time at Norwalk. We've learned that repairing the robot fast is definitely a priority for us, so we feel pretty prepared for this next fight.
All right, well, we can't wait to see it, and good luck going forward, and to you, Adam and Kyle.
It is amazing to see how fast these younger competitors can progress so quickly in this sport. So impressive what that team's able to pull off here today.
What a hit. And as he mentioned, these fights are won and lost in the pits, getting the robots prepped. You spend a few minutes in the day in the arena. You spend most of the day in the pits working on the bots.
Absolutely. Well, we are getting ready for our next fight in the 30-pound weight class. And let me tell you, it is a banger. We've got world champions in the box coming right up.
Before we go to that, let's look at this. We've got an issue. Gargantuan doesn't have any of their tops on, and they've got the power tools out. That's not what you want to see when you're heading down to the box.
Yeah, they're not in this next fight. They're in the fight afterwards, so they have a little bit of time. But even that close to a matchup, this is not where you want to be.
They are cutting it close here. You can see the inside of the robot, adding screws. It looks like these are structural to items inside that they're trying to secure before putting the top on. Usually at this point, you're just throwing the batteries in and getting the top. They're screwing stuff in before they even get there.
There is one more fight before they get into the cage. We'll see how that goes, and we'll keep an eye on that situation. But as of right now, let's meet our competitors. First up, from Norwich, Connecticut, representing Team 90s Kids, it's Joshua Reinhardt and the reigning, defending 30-pound champion of the world, Kazaa Lights.
And they're up against, from North Providence, Rhode Island, and Team Pandemonium, it's Corey Nason and Synthesis 30!
We're gonna go to the booth to call all this hard-hitting action. Dima, Ricky, let's go.
Thank Thank you, Kyle. I am so excited to see the reigning world champion. We have the tail of the tape, Kazaa Light in the #1 seed for a reason. 11 events under their belt, a staggering 32-11 record. They have a 43% chance to KO, but don't let that fool you. Even when they go to the judges, they are doing tons of damage with not one, but 2 flamethrowers.
But they're going to have to go through the #2 seed to get a victory here. Synthesis 30 is one of the meanest and most destructive robots at this event, and in fact, in all the 30-pound division worldwide. 17 events of experience. This is a mind-boggling amount of talent and know-how in the blue corner right now. And if there's someone that can take down Kazaa Ines, I can't imagine anyone hungrier than Corey Nason for that victory.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Fight, robots.
Way we go,
fight.
very quick spin up from Synthesis 30. He's gonna try and separate these two halves. He's not doing it though. That is a very unfortunate pin, but the flamethrowers are not lighting on Kazaa Light.
Here we go.
They are. Whoa, a big immediate bounce back hit. Ooh, interesting. Half of Kazaa Light has been inverted as Synthesis 30 is pinned into the corner and absolutely barbecued.
This is how Kazaa gets their wins. They pin you with both robots and cook you alive. If Corey can separate them, he's in good shape. Not working out yet for him.
But the fact that half of Kazaa Light is upside down and a fork is bent is a huge advantage to Synthesis 30. It needs to win the ground game. Look at it being pinned. It can't afford to be pinned like this and barbecued for long. Incredibly hot flames can do a number in a million different ways on a robot.
Any part of you is vulnerable to that fire, and the damage is cumulative. He might start slowing down after this pin.
I don't see a weapon movement at all on Synthesis 30. We'll see if they can spin back up. But look, there are now lingering flames on the underside of Synthesis 30. That is a telltale sign that the chassis is heating up.
I thought he might have been saving that weapon so it didn't overheat during the pin, but now I think it is down.
This is textbook Kazaa pin and flame technique. That is brutal. It's still moving, but that weapon is down. You can see the wheels are starting to become a liquid.
Tap out.
Synthesis 30 has tapped out, but it might be too late. The housebot comes in with an emergency dose of fire extinguisher, but that robot is a smoldering wreck. That is an intense amount of heat in a very small area.
Those are not campfires. Those are specifically made flamethrowers to cook these robots. No matter how much metal is inside them, it will turn you into a molten piece of steel if you let it.
I noticed Synthesis 30 was not able to drive its way back to the arena door. It may well have gone down completely in the last seconds of that fight.
Got to assume so. I think you'll see in these pins, Corey might have made a configuration mistake here. His forks are, the tips are on the ground, but the meat of the forks are slightly off the ground, and Kazaa kept getting under those. You see right there, Kazaa's forks are touching the ground.
It makes them very vulnerable to having the long forks on Kazaa do exactly what they're designed to do. Now, to his credit, he was able to flip half of Kazaa Light upside down. If he had managed to do that to the other half, he very well could have taken home a win. But he wasn't able to pull it off. The half that remained upright was able to pin, and the other half was able to come in for the kill with some of the most brutal flamethrower work that we've seen today.
Synthesis has amazing dialed-in fundamentals on its weapon and its drive, but Kazaa's game plan is so solid and so hard to beat. The robot has incredible offense and defense, and the fact that there's two of them makes them extremely difficult to deal with. You could always say, just knock one away and chase the other one. That's so much easier said than done when these are low-profile metal boxes. It is so hard to even score a single hit on them.
And not just metal boxes. These things are armor plated. It is almost impossible to tear through one of these robots unless you have one of the most damaging weapons in the house, and you have to fight through 2 of them. They are incredibly well armored machines.
Kazaa, fun fact, every single one of Joshua Reinhardt's robots, both Kazaa Light and Kazaa Eins, are assembled in his 1-bedroom apartment.
It is nuts what you are able to accomplish in this sport. It just shows you that you don't need to be, some rich millionaire or some experienced, person with incredible resources. You can do an amazing job with humble beginnings. Let's go to Sam, who's going to tell us more.
Thank you, Ricky. I'm here with Josh from Kazaa Light, and that was textbook Kazaa Light. But what is textbook Kazaa Eins with your next fight coming up?
I don't know if this is textbook. We're fighting a big wheel robot. We've never fought a big wheel robot. We're a little scared. So we're just hoping to survive. The fun is if Kazaa doesn't, if Eins doesn't do it, then Light gets to do it. So we'll at least get to learn from our mistakes if any are made in the first match. But hopefully things go smoothly. I'd love it to go similar to this match, but I'm just excited to fight my first big wheel,
We are excited as well, and we are going to find out soon enough how this goes. But until then, we're going to head to Kyle and Adam.
Thank you so much, Sam. I'm excited to see how they do against the big wheel.
I keep being blown away by every fight that keeps happening. They're absolutely nuts.
Yeah, we really saved all the sauce for prime time. There's some really amazing fighting going on right now.
I don't know what they're going to be able to do against the big wheel, but I have a thought about what a big wheel could do to them. They don't always have the most top armor, and they've got a lot of tanks of gas in there.
All right, we are ready now to bring out our competitors. That's right, representing Brandeis Robotics from Waltham, Massachusetts, it's Samuel Herman and his robot, Gargantuan.
And he's fighting from the team that brought you world champion Kazaa Light. It's Joshua Reinhardt, Team 90s Kids, and Kazaa Eins.
All right, we're going to cage 1 for all of this hard-hitting, hot action, and we're going to call this from the play-by-play booth.
Thank you, guys. I just want to call out something right off the bat. 2 things, in fact. First off, those paying close attention will notice Kazaa Eins very similar in construction to Kazaa Light. Kazaa Light, the multi-bot. Kazaa Eins is the bigger. Oh my God! Holy heck! Look at this. This battery fire, immediately you saw them rushing to get this robot together in the pits, and clearly that rush did not pay off. Something shorted immediately as soon as the box was closed.
To the Brandeis kids working on Gargantuan, let this be a lesson. This is what happens when you leave your homework to the last minutes.
That is incredible. We've seen some weird things happen when a robot powers on, but I don't think we've ever seen spontaneous robotic combustion.
With the doors closed, after it powered on.
Now this could be really interesting. Let's go to, I think we have a replay of a starting. Look at this, the very end of that fire, the housebot assisting in putting it out. Something shorted badly in the electronics of that robot. Wild.
I'm just sitting here thinking, what the heck happened? Like, what shorted? It's on the left side. I don't think it's their weapon motor. That's on the right.
So they have dual weapon. They had dual drive. Either side could have gone bad. They really did not want to fight Kazaa Eins because they were worried about getting torched, and then they did it themselves. That is just a ridiculous set of circumstances.
Don't let the fear of fire consume you.
This is interesting, though, because I did notice, even while the fire was going, that it was still able to move. Gargantuan's right wheel did still drive, and if I understand the robot correctly, it has redundant motor systems. Yes, I'm being told they are going to fight this anyway. Half of their electronics are burnt, but they are going to The show must go on as far as they're concerned.
So they're able to turn off the side that burnt out, but they still have a battery in the other side that powers the robot.
Right. They're going to be down to one-wheel drive and half weapon power. But as the Kazaa team was saying earlier, this weapon type, this robot type, is a bit of a kryptonite potentially to Kazaa Ainz. So even at half power, they still stand a relatively good chance to land a killing blow on the top of their opponent.
You can see the bottom of the chassis already burnt out. But yes, Kazaa, that very powerful, very low profile, armored, boxy shape, that turtle defense, how do you beat it? Going over the top is one answer. If Gargantuan can manage to do that, it might be all she wrote. But let's see if we can even have this fight.
You can see the house robot is assisting with Gargantuan's limp over to the red square. There they go. I'd say that's about right. It can move, it can drive a little bit, and that weapon definitely does spin. So they do stand a chance, even if it's a slim one. Let's see if they can pull off a miracle here in Cage 1 tonight at the first NHRL Pro Tour.
Stranger things have happened in the cage. I gotta be honest with you. I am a believer right now.
I will keep the hope alive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
That weapon spins up, but not very quickly. Gargantuan really struggling to get spinning more than a little, and Kazaa is taking advantage. When you've got a sitting duck in the corner, why not turn it into a barbecued duck?
I was a believer in that weapon. I no longer am. I do not think that it has the power in that spin to do much of anything to Kazaa.
No, remember that weapon motor might be redundant, but it still has to overcome the resist. What? For a moment, I saw Kazaa Ainz sit motionless. Are they having some problems? The flame is down. That doesn't mean it's not working at all, but it's not running at this moment. Nope, it's back. They were just teasing us, Dima.
We're always the optimists back here in the booth.
Listen, I was a believer. I still think that this could be won by Gargantuan, but not if that weapon can't spin up.
Anything can happen.
It's struggling so hard, and Kazaa is taking advantage. This is the barbecue. They're going to finish that flame job. Gargantuan said, nope, it's not in the cards. They tapped out, and Team 90 Kids is heading home with another win.
Takes a lot of heart to start a fight on fire.
It does, but what a heartbreaking end to that fight. What a heartbreaking start to that fight. Let's go into replays, see what went wrong, what went right. Gargantuan immediately struggling to get out of the corner, but the bigger story here is that weapon just never spun up. For whatever reason, the drain on that system prevented the redundant motors from kicking in the way they were supposed to.
Watching it spinning in place while it's on fire, you can see the driver's face just watching his robot get engulfed in flame. It is just so funny to watch. It's like an organic creature when it's flailing while on fire.
I think that's one of the most unusual match beginnings and match ends we've had here in a long time. But let me tell you, this means something very exciting is going to happen in the semifinals, which is to say a flame multi-bot and a single flame bot going head-to-head from the same team vying for their shot in the finals. One of Joshua Reinhardt's robots is going to be in the finals today at the very first NHRL Pro Tour.
But before we are going to finals, we will apparently have 3 flamethrowers in the cage. So stay tuned. Live on DAZN, we are bringing you Pro Tour action and pro-level quality robots. Sam is cage side with some more info from the builders themselves.
Yeah, thank you, Dima. I'm here with Sam Herman of Gargantuan. And Sam, what happened when you powered on Gargantuan?
I think Gargantuan looked across the box and got a little inspiration?
I think so. You did an okay emulation of Kazaa Ainz, but I really appreciate that fighting spirit, getting back into the cage. Did you think you had a chance when you were back with that fight?
Honestly, not really. But, you know, I'm here to fight, and I'm not going out without going out in a, big fiery way.
All right, Sam. Well, thank you so much. Valiant effort. And to you, Kyle and Adam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hansen. That was a really weird match, but a fiery one.
It sure was a big fiery way to go out.
I loved it. Fire at the beginning, fire before the match even started. It's everything you could ever want. We are getting ready to go into the 3-pound bracket. 3-pound division is the most kinetic, most chaotic, most frenetic division. Let's have a look at this bracket and see where we're at right now.
Fast pace, twitch, reflexes are key in this class. We're going to start off the night with Pipeline Punch and Anubis, 2 hard-hitting robots. Let's meet them before this fight.
First up, it's Pipeline Punch! This is a robot on the rise. Absolutely devastating day today. Big hits, massive machine.
And they're fighting from Rochester, New York, and Anthony Pereira. It's Anubis! To the booth to call this one with Ricky and Deep.
Thanks so much. Let's jump right into the tail of the tape. Pipeline Punch, 5 events, a 15-6 record, and 3/4 of its fights end in a KO. We're giving it just under 50-50 odds for this match.
Anubis, 13 events, more under their belt here at NHRL with a 32-21 record. That record doesn't tell the full story. Anubis has been improving year on year, and every time it steps into the cage, it is more and more terrifying with a 64% KO rate in all of its wins thus far. This is a pretty even fight, but Anubis has the slight edge according to our calculations.
We're going to break in Cage 2's new Pro Tour floor
5,
here for prime time
4,
right now.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Very quick spin up on both robots. Anubis immediately getting the best of Pipeline Punch, and Pipeline Punch punching back.
This is the thing about Beetle weights, the 3-pound bracket. They fire at each other over and over.
What a start and what a retort. Anubis is so fast, just blazingly quick around the arena.
It's the fastest robot in the house today. It's got to be.
It's able to just point and shoot, but as soon as it's sideways, Pipeline Punch just swoops back in. Pipeline Punch landing behind the house spot and then getting stuck on the rails.
As soon as they call for the unstick, Anthony takes
Look
a shot.
at this! Oh. The belt is gone on Pipeline Punch before it is embedded in the arena floor. The unstick is still happening, but I don't think this robot is coming back.
Me neither, Ricky, and even so, it would be pretty...
Oh, it's done it! It's done it! It's righted itself! It's righted itself, and now Anubis is stuck in the wall!
Anubis got his forks in the kick blade. It needs its own
Punch
unstick.
is blocking, trying to block the house spot from freeing Anubis from the wall, but it fails to do so before Anubis kicks its teeth in.
Pipeline Punch is going to have an uphill battle trying to control this fight with no weapon, but they're doing a good job right now.
They're doing fantastic, controlling their opponent, going weapon to weapon, face to face, but they can't afford to be upside down. But do they have any choice, Dima?
Anubis is not giving them any choice.
Not an inch of slack in this match. Pipeline Punch being incredibly aggressive, able to bully its opponent around. Anubis getting taken for a ride time and time again.
After that really severe belt loss, it's really only got a couple hits.
It is incredible how well Pipeline Punch is able to bully its opponent without a working weapon. Look at this pin. This is incredible amount of dominance despite having all of its attack power. Oh no! Pipeline Punch upside down, stuck and unable to move, all out of unsticks. The countdown has started and there is no hope left. Your winner, Anubis.
What's the Anubis game plan? Take them to the underworld and judge their soul. Pipeline Punch, you have been deemed not worthy to make it to the semifinals.
Anthony Pereira, they are taking home a very well-earned win here. That has got to be a relief. That was not an easy matchup.
That gotta feel so good. Pipeline Punch has only had a few events under their belt at NHRL, 5 events total, because they are coming all the way from Honolulu. Let's see some replays of that action. It started off sort of a slugfest. Neither could really get the upper hand, but that's because both of those hits sent each other flying. Anubis, I think, dealt better with the chaos. It's more used to that. Pipeline Punch is more controlling. If it isn't a controlling style matchup, it is on the back foot.
Take a look at that moment. That is the first stick of the event, and that is when Anubis just went in for a kill shot, but it didn't stick. I mean, literally it stuck into the ground, but the kill shot didn't stick. Pipeline Punch just kept punching and punching until his fists fell off, almost literally.
Basically, it went until it literally could not anymore. No tap outs, they went until the KO count.
A tremendous amount of spirit in that robot. Kudos to them for sticking with it till the last possible moment, but in the end, it wasn't enough. For someone who is always enough, let's go to Sam Hansen, Cape Side.
Thank you, Ricky. I'm here with Anthony Pereira of Anubis. And Anthony, that fight was incredible. Anubis has it all. It's got the punching power, it's got the speed, but does it have what it takes to go all the way?
Of course. Of course. I fought 2 of my favorite bots so far and beat them both back to back. We'll go all the way.
Right, well, you heard it here first. Anthony is going all the way with Anubis, and we are going to Adam and Kyle.
That is some calm, confident, like just energy coming off of that man right now. Anthony Pereira, a man coming up in this sport.
Calling his shot. Meanwhile, Pipeline Punch is going all the way back to Hawaii. Quite a long flight, but I think they have a lot to be proud of. They got pretty far today.
Yeah, extremely good showing for them, but Anubis is the better bot in that matchup, and they are looking to take the entire 3-pound tournament. This is the most competitive 3-pound division in the world.
And here's the next fight.
All right, first up, from the gritty city of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, it's Christian Landby, and it's Rhino!
Up against, from Houston, Texas, it's Jonathan Juarez and Warhard!
To call all of this insane action, we're going to the play-by-play booth with Ricky and Dima.
Rhino, the number 13 seed, has a 20-10 record. Very, very even. It KOs most of its wins, and it is slightly favored according to the win probability. One of WPI's robots, they are a crew, maybe the most prolific combat robotics club. They have a lot of minds behind every single one of these bots, even if they're just sharing tips.
In this fight, though, they're going up against someone who meets experience with raw hunger. Warhard is an experienced robot, experienced builder in the form of Jonathan Juarez, and this robot is just all business all the time. It's mean, it's sleek, it's technically advanced in its machining techniques, and just is an unstoppable force in most of its matches.
You've said previously, this is a machinist's dream bot. They have no frills. They are black and silver, purely machined, very elegantly designed. We are not here to have visual flair and flash. We are here to win and break stuff.
Jonathan is here to fight. He is here to win. This is a no-nonsense robot from a no-nonsense builder. And like I said, he is hungry for a win. When he comes here, when he makes the journey here, I believe from Texas, that robot is all of him poured into the arena for a given 3-minute stretch of time.
Absolutely. He's backing into the blue corner, Rhino going into the pink corner. Rhino's going to try to win this with its width and with its control, but Warhard is not easy to control. He's stepping into the corner. He is acting like Fred Durst, and he is saying, give me something to break.
I could not agree more. This is going to be a wild match.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away we go.
Fight.
Both robots up to a quick spin. Look at the size of the weapon on Warhard, sending Rhino end over end in the first exchange, and Rhino comes back with a hit of its own.
This is Rhino's chance to control the fight. Losing this opportunity, but maybe regaining some composure.
Warhard has been so controlled today, landing huge hits over and over.
Rhino has a really smooth drive, but isn't mattering right now. Every time Warhard touches them, they go end over end.
It's all about angles. About 3/4 of the time, Warhard can just hit better. Better placement for the hits means better attack efficacy.
That's definitely mattering here. We're not even a minute into this fight. There's been so many kinetic impacts.
Rhino has taken probably 30 hits so far. Warhard probably 5 or 6. There's a massive one though. Don't let the small size fool you. Rhino packs a punch.
These are both vertical spinners, and Rhino's weapon is smaller, and it's a single blade compared to the egg beater of Warhard.
Still anybody's game. Look at the juggling on display. Rhino spending a substantial portion of this match in the air, trying to right itself.
Seems like they have a harder time driving inverted than Warhard does.
The left-hand drive is starting to suffer a little bit on Rhino.
All that damage adds up.
Oh, I hear a weapon spinning down. Not all the way off, but definitely slowing. You can see the drive not quite right on Rhino. The left hand is suffering hard. It's Warhard spinning down, maybe 25% speed at this point. I think he sees that his opponent is suffering, and he doesn't want to risk breaking his own weapon on his opponent's face.
Absolutely. With a minute left, anything can happen. Trying to minimize loss conditions.
Look at that exchange! Both robots going flying into the arena walls.
Rhino is wider, but every time it turns now, it kicks up, and Warhard gets under it and
But now
smacks it into the air.
Warhard's right-hand drive is starting to suffer a little bit. It is slowing down. We saw this earlier today. Oh, and an excellent pin from Rhino nearly into the corner of the arena. That is hard to do with only one-wheel drive. Rhino upside down, spinning, no longer moving and spinning down.
Here is the start of the KO count if they don't show motion.
Ooh, Rhino calling for an unstick. Warhard making it unnecessary, but that robot is not moving. Moreover, I see wiring peeking out from the underside of Rhino as the countdown closes in. Look at the entrails spilling out of the rear of the robot. That robot was 2 seconds and 1 hit away from being spaghetti splattered across the arena. They were saved by that knockout, quite frankly.
Not saved by the bell, but saved by the KO count, funnily enough.
That was hard won, and just in the nick of time, Warhard was starting to look tired as that match went on. It may be the same general shape, but every surface of Warhard is damaged now. Let's look at how it got there. So many of these hits from Warhard sent Rhino end over end.
Here's the thing in this replay. The first couple hits, you don't see damage, but all of those hits absolutely add up. Not only do they affect your condition, they affect your ability to exact your own game plan. Once your drive starts suffering, your weapon starts being a little more iffy. The other robot can take those opportunities and snowball into a victory. That's exactly what Warhard did.
It's a positive feedback loop of negative situations where your robot just starts to get tired and worn out, and suddenly your opponent can make these strikes that you weren't going to let them make in the beginning of the match.
Absolutely.
Happened over and over again in this fight. Let's go to Sam, and maybe he has some more intel for us.
I do, Ricky. Thank you so much. I'm here with Jonathan Juarez of Warhard and Jonathan. What about Warhard allows you to go the distance with a tough bot like Rhino?
So when I built this robot, I did a little bit backwards. People try to calculate stuff. I just fit the biggest stuff I could fit in it and then work around it.
All right. Well, that seems to have worked. And congratulations on qualifying for the World Championships at the end of the year. And you've got more fights, so are you ready?
Yes, sir. Try.
All right, he's ready, and we are headed to Adam and Kyle.
A weird fact about Jonathan Juarez that I always think about is the first time he ever built a robot, he decided to build a 250-pound heavyweight.
Yeah.
Just, jumping right into the deep end of the pool, getting as complicated as humanly possible. I love that guy.
I love that. I love his build style. That's exactly what I do. Just stuff the biggest stuff in it and see how you can make it fit.
It's an awesome looking bot in
It's
spite
fun
of
that
that.
way.
All right, so we are ready for our next fight. So let's go ahead and go to that right now. Coming from Old Lyme, Connecticut, representing Team Pandemonium. That's right, it's Julian Papazian and Turbo Fiend.
And he's up against all the way from Austin, Texas, and Team Too Hot to Handle. It's Brian Boxel and Eruption!
And to our totally non-biased friends in the booth to call this action.
I'm not gonna be biased at all for my older brother driving Turbo Fiend. 12 events, some of them were me, 41-3, some of them are me too. A 55% chance to KO. It's slightly unfavored according to the record, but Julian is looking for a run back. His last loss was to Eruption in 2024 as Mako in the World Finals.
I gotta say, a number 19 seed for Eruption might be underselling this robot. Brian Boxel is so experienced and he is so serious about this sport. It is reflected in the 71% KO factor in Eruption. This robot hits hard, it hits fast, and if there's a
5,
robot to take out Turbo
4,
Fiend, he's
3,
it.
2, 1.
Fight, robots,
Away we go.
fight.
You can see the speed on display from Eruption, sending Turbo Fiend end over end as it sits on its side. Brian taking full advantage as Turbo Fiend ends up pinned into the corner, stuck on the rails.
Definitely gonna need to call for an unstick. The fork is gummy plastic and it has bends.
It is stuck in the arena.
All right, now
And
we can
now
get
it's
right
free.
side up.
And an immediate follow-up hit from Eruption.
That looked bad on the wheels.
It's amazing to see how effective this robot is against a robot like Turbo Fiend.
Turbo Fiend is fine at driving upside down, but not like this.
Eruption is lining up hit after hit and just point and shoot.
Turbo Fiend is notoriously hard to kill, though.
Yeah, it is a squishy boy, but you do enough roof shots, something's gotta give.
Oh, but now it might be Julian's turn during this chaos. These weapon-on-weapon engages are not working out for Turbo Fiend because it gets flipped. We'd like to see some side action.
That is the long chassis of Eruption paying off, although I see some things going wrong for the front of Eruption.
Here we go. This is Julian's turn. A pin and turn.
Look at this sawing motion on the top plate of Eruption. That is doing incredible damage. It's wearing its way through to the juicy innards.
Perfect job, big bro. That weapon looks down on Eruption.
It's barely moving. If it can't get right side up, it is not. It has gotten right side up.
The weapon looks down.
I think that weapon is down. That is the opening that Turbo Fiend needs. However, Eruption is still winning these pushing matches.
Julian's got all that experience with Mako. If you are pinned and giving up a vulnerable position, Turbo Fiend has a weapon blade that can grind and cut.
You can see a bearing has come loose on the weapon of Eruption. Might be part of why that weapon is down. Now, can Eruption get right side up again? It doesn't want to be in this spot. Julian says, I can get you right side up and upside down and right side up again. Eruption is starting to transform into a very different shape than it started this match. And look critically, the fork on the front of Eruption is now bent backwards. Even if they get right side up again, they're not going to be able to drive correctly.
So when your weapon breaks like this, you want to try to win via controlling with your drive.
Oh, look at this saw! The carbon fiber being shredded on the underside of Eruption.
Julian, you are too good at that.
We're coming down on the last 15 seconds. Turbo Fiend taking every opportunity to get these last moments of damage and leave a good impression in the eyes of the judges.
Leave nothing to chance. That's my big brother right there. We need to get the mic live on Julian for his next fight because he loves to yell and hype the crowd. Ever the showman. Just like our martial arts background would have you believe, when we were kids, we wanted to be Power Rangers and pro wrestlers, and I don't think we really grew up.
Take a look at that spinning. You can see just flopping in the middle of the weapon is a bearing retainer. I think that's where it all went wrong for Eruption. It could not take the blowback from the force of the hits it was delivering on Turbo Fiend. Speaking of those hits, let's take a look. Fantastic work for the first 90 seconds of this match, maybe 60 seconds of this match. It was able to deliver substantial hits at a regular pace over and over. But apparently that force was just too much for the chassis of Eruption to handle.
Well, this is the thing. Here's how you beat Turbo Fiend. You have a vert that will win weapon engagements by sending Turbo Fiend on its head, flip it around. Other verts will do this like Showtime and Eviscerator. But if you, in the chaos, if you give up your underbelly, Julian knows how to take critical hits. That is what he is known for. That is his style. That first grind that he got on Eruption, that was really what sealed the deal. It killed the weapon, and from then on, it kept snowballing. Eruption was not able to find its footing properly after that. Let's head over to Sam. I think he's got some words for us.
I am here with Julian Papazian, and Julian, that fight looked great at the end for you, but at the beginning it was a little spicy. How do you keep your head when it looks like the fight is not going your way?
Well, let me say, he's a tremendous competitor, he's a tremendous builder and designer. I pride myself on making up for those shortcomings by being a good competitor. So when things get rough, I stay in there and I do my best to win every dang time.
All right, thank you for that. And just so you know, the judge's decision is in, and your winner is Turbo Fiend.
Not even close, and I am not surprised. What a dominant performance by Julian Papazian and Turbo Fiend.
Yeah, he earned that victory. It might have been a judge's decision, but no doubt.
Absolutely, and so much passion from that competitor. You've got to love it. All right, so we are ready for our next fight. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors from Newcastle, Colorado, representing Shadow Combat Robotics. It's Zechariah Matthews and Fragment X.
And they're fighting from Waltham, Massachusetts, and Brandeis Robotics. It's Samuel Herman and Colossus!
That's kind of a big deal. All right, to call all of this 3-pound action, we are going to go deep down into the play-by-play booth with Ricky and Dima.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Let's look at Fragment X, the number 7 seed, 4 events of experience, but an incredible 13-4 record. It's knocking robots out more than half the time, but it only sits with a 31% win probability here.
Colossus, the number 5 seed, has 5 events under its belt, and 79% of its wins are by KO. They have a very similar record, but our stats say that it is favored by a significant margin. I think part of that is due to the matchup here.
Yeah, the archetypes of these robots are basically in favor of Colossus all day long. This big spinning blade is designed especially to hit the relatively vulnerable top side of its opponent. Any robot like Fragment X is the natural prey of a robot like Colossus.
Well, we say that, but this is the second Brandeis big wheel we're seeing here at Primetime Pro Tour. The first one was on fire before the fight started. As long as this doesn't start the same way, I think they have a great shot here.
It is honestly anybody's game. I think it comes down to how well can this robot deliver on its design intent. When a robot builds like this, they have something they want to do. Can they do it?
So for the new viewers at home, you have the opportunity to change the configurations of your robot. If you have forks on the front, you can go for different ones. You can even go for a different weapon blade, different armor, things of that nature. I am curious as to what Fragment X's thought process is for the configuration going into this fight. Usually some robots will have something special they plan for big wheels. It looks like they're going with a wedge for their armor configuration and a single fork. You know, I'm not the builder right here, so I can't speak for them. I am just a little thoughtful about the configuration they're going with here. That armor is not what I would expect for a big wheel, that big weapon from the top, but it looks like they have extra plastic on top here to guard. That wedge, though, is more typical from what I'd expect versus a horizontal spinner or some other weapon that would run into it directly.
So normally I would say yes, but as far as big wheels go, Colossus has a lot of, ironically, downward reach. And if you notice the front of Fragment X, when we showed its hero shot, right? It has this squishy front, we call it baleen armor. There's lots of little fingers that come out.
And that's no good.
And that is no good against a very sharp weapon like Colossus. So I agree, it's an unusual approach. I don't know if it's going to work out for them, but I completely understand the reason that they're taking this strategy.
Makes a lot more sense when you put it like that. If that weapon is planning on hitting all the way close to the ground, that's where the wedge is.
It is, and here's the thing, Fragment X does not want to be shot backwards. And if they can avoid being shot backwards, that weapon on Colossus now means it's putting upward force on Colossus, which means Colossus is going to pop into the air each time it hits, and that gives Fragment X now a chance to counterattack. So it's all this kind of theory craft before you get into the match that you have to go through. And of course, the famous, I think, Mike Tyson quote, right, is every plan falls apart when you get punched in the face.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. But you still, the only thing worse than having a bad theory of how the match is going to go is having no theory about how the match is going to go. So they clearly put the thought in, and it's only time will tell. Only time will tell us if their theory comes out correct and if the preparations they made will pay off.
We are still pausing this fight. We are still getting ready. While we wait, we are going to tell you, the audience, about the basics of NHRL Pro Tour here on DAZN. We have 3 weight classes. There are the 3-pound robots that fight in the smaller cage and the 12 and the 30-pound robots that fight in the larger cage. The objective, to destroy your opponent in 3 minutes or less. You can win by knockout, your opponent tapping out, or if the fight goes to 3 minutes without either of those things happening, there is a judge's decision. The judges score fights based on 2 categories: attack and condition. Attack is, can you show that you were the aggressor using your weapon and were you trying to end the fight? Condition measures how well that happened by way of damage your robot has taken or dished out. The condition on your robot typically measures, is your weapon still working? Can your robot still drive and move? Or did you take other damage that maybe is less significant, like damage to your armor or damage to forks?
Right. It basically comes down to how well did your robot hold up over the course of a fight? Is it sturdy? Is it durable? And did it make it to the end? If those things are true, you're going to get a good condition score, and that's going to help you out at the end of the fight.
Perfectly explained, Ricky.
Well, you set me up for it, Dima.
Thank you.
Take a look. The crowd is hyped. The energy for the Pro Tour is just wonderful here in the House of Havoc. Interesting. You could see that builder holding their head close to their robot. We've said this before, but basically they are listening for the little magic songs that the electronics sing as the robot starts up. That is one of the most reassuring sounds in the world to a combat robotics competitor, when their robot sings you the song of its people and says, yes, I am ready to fight. The doors are closed, the box is locked, and the competitors are making their way to their corners. We are in for a good fight.
We sure are. We've seen a lot of big wheel action today. We are readied up in the pink and blue corners.
This fight is for the second fight. It's qualifying them for the second fight of the semifinals. Winner here goes up against Turbo Fiend, and the loser goes home. Oh, interesting. The drive on one half of Colossus does not seem to be functioning well. Another situation, Dima, where you alluded to earlier. This team may not have been doing its homework.
These Brandeis kids, I tell you what.
Not a reassuring start to the match, but as long as that weapon spins up, when the fight starts, anything could happen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, Robots
Way we go,
fight.
a good spin up from Colossus at the very least.
Looks like they might have just been backwards.
Fragment X trying to... Wow, that's the move I was talking about.
Exactly, popping them right up.
Fragment X, oh my God!
Oh my God!
Fragment X is launched into the arena wall! 3 feet into the air, there's no way the housebot's gonna unstick that! What an incredible move! Incredible luck from Colossus!
Luck, skill, and the power of will.
I can't, that is ridiculous! That is ridiculous! For those concerned at home, let me reassure you, the arena is in fact 2 layers of bulletproof glass. You can get skewered into one and everyone remains safe in the stands, but it doesn't change the fact that this robot is still lodged into the arena wall. It's moved through a 1/4 inch of bulletproof glass.
That's why we have layers, though.
The arena is now a 1,000-pound pincushion to a 3-pound robot. That's the power of a giant squid.
We are going to get that robot.
That is not coming out easily.
Come on, you got this.
Dima, that is in there.
They are skilled with the crowbar, I will say. It's just so funny to watch.
No, I have to take a moment here.
Let's go.
That is nuts. Okay, I have to say this. These arena walls, even in the small arena, are 1/4 inch bulletproof glass. They can withstand a .38 special revolver being shot at them and just deflect it like it's nothing. For that robot went all the way through the first layer. The ablative layer on the inside, that is so much energy. And not only is it so much energy from Fragment X that's doing the hit into the arena wall, but it is so much more energy from Colossus to send it into the wall hard enough for that to happen.
Absolutely. And the kudos to the sharpness of the weapon, too. Not every weapon can get stuck in the cage like that, but a vertical spinning blade can. We're going to send it over to Kyle. Do you have more info for us by the BFS?
I think Kyle is sitting cage side. Kyle, can you read us? Kyle may be indisposed, but I'm sure we'll get him in a moment. Just look at that robot, though. I cannot believe the skewering it did to our arena wall. That is nuts. Dima, that lone plastic fork that was put on the front did not save anyone.
No, it did not.
I know it's supposed to say fragment on the bottom, fragment X perhaps, but...
All right, I'm on it. All right, so I am standing by here cage side. I do have the rest of the team. They are debating about what to do in this particular situation. A robot got stuck in the wall. Do we unstick them and let the fight continue? Is this fight over? So they're discussing that right now, right here. Let's see if we can get an answer. They're still going at it as far as this discussion goes. And we see what our audience thinks about it. All right. As you can see, our cage managers and referees are still debating this right now. We'll have an answer for you very shortly, but I don't know if this fight will be able to continue.
The unstick was unsuccessful. Impaled in the wall, the unstick was unsuccessful. It is a knockout. We are giving you the chance. Do you want to take the knockout or do you want to fight?
I do like being the evil one, but I'm always here for a show. Let's keep it going!
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Let them fight. Let's go.
While we get reset, let's take a look at how we got here. Look at that, tumbling end over end and lodging itself decisively in the arena wall. Like our cage-size referees said and the judges confirmed, that is in fact a knockout that does qualify Colossus for winning that fight. But in an incredible show of excitement and sportsmanship, Colossus has said, we want to fight this all the way. We want a real shot at knocking this robot out 110%.
We already technically knocked you out, but we want to knock you out for real.
Let's hope Fragment X didn't suffer any damage in that crowbar removal from the arena wall.
I have faith they still got the juice.
And we're off again. Colossus spun up, looking for the opening. Both robots seeming to function pretty darn well.
Fragment driving like it's got something to prove. I think it does.
Yeah, to say the least, Dima. Ooh, another good hit there. But Colossus is now barely moving. Delivering a good hit, and now the two robots are stuck together. Can they be freed?
There we
go.
go.
And Colossus is moving. And its weapon is still was still spinning. It got hooked in there again.
It's getting stuck on that single fork.
Fragment X has already burnt its unstick. Colossus is not moving now. If neither of these robots can move, it's gonna go. No! Colossus has revived itself, and Fragment X is stuck on its head. Barring a miracle, Colossus will be taking this by the skin of its Squidward teeth.
Okay.
A wild ending that could not have been closer. Fragment X sitting disabled, upside down, doing the thing, and Colossus just barely able to spin enough to avoid a countout and a double knockout.
Definitely thinking to themselves, what just happened? Incredible showing and driving by both robots. Incredible sportsmanship by that giant squid I'm looking at. Let's get these loaded out so we can fix that Lexan.
Let's go into the replays. That was such a wild match. I don't know if we're going to do the entire match worth of relays given what happened, but take a look at Colossus getting launched again. Fragment X weapon is no joke. There's that first skewer into the wall. Then we freed him and they're... Oh, wow. That is just a replay from another angle. The stick of all sticks. That took a burly man and a crowbar to remove from the bulletproof glass, and the robot still worked when it was placed back on the arena floor.
The shot speaks for itself. Not much I can tell you here. Cage breaches are some of the most exciting moments of NHRL, partially because we know safety first, and one layer getting nicked is not the end of the world. It's just a lot of work to replace. Thankfully, I'm in the underground bunker, and I don't have to worry about such things. I can just enjoy the spectacle along with those in the stands and those at home watching on DAZN.
I gotta take a minute. We have a special award here at NHRL for the Pro Tour. Brett's Big Bad Brutal Bonus. It is awarded to fights ending in an absolutely spectacular KO as chosen by the NHRL staff. And let me tell you, guess who won it today? Dima?
Colossus from Brandeis.
Absolutely. They are taking home a sweet $400 bonus for their performance here today. The loser is getting a consolation prize for the beating that they had to endure of an extra $100 on top of whatever prize money they win here through the rest of the tournament.
They started a fight in 30 pounds, already on fire and smoking out half of their chassis. They let a fight keep going in the 3-pound bracket, even though they had technically earned the KO. I think they deserve that bonus. If there's anybody that deserves it, it's them.
Fantastic. Let's go to Sam. He's got the story for us.
Thank you, Ricky. I have a story. I am up in the pits with the Kazaa Light and Kazaa Eins team, and they are scheduled to fight a match in the semifinals. Or are they, Josh?
We should be about to fight, but why learn something the expensive way when we already know that Kazaa Light's the world champion and 2 bots is better than 1 Firebot? So we're gonna skip right over to finals, and because there's no reason to have our bots destroyed before we need to fight again. So we've done all this effort to get here with 2 bots, so why not take advantage of it? They're both doing great, so we'll have the best one go forward.
All right, well, it seems like Kazaa Light is going to win by forfeit over Kazaa Eins, and everyone else is going to lose because we missed the opportunity to see so many flamethrowers in the cage at once. And we're going to head to the play-by-play booth. Dima and Ricky, take it away.
Thank you, Sam. We are loading up in cage 1. We have another 12-pound fight for you. We have Xenomorph here in the blue corner. You see on your screen right here a very large, very impressive vertically spinning disc. And we have Torrent in the pink corner.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
There's a lot of size difference here in this arena, but not a lot of power difference. Here is Xenomorph's chance, because if you knock around Xenomorph first, they won't get the chance to bully you. You have to walk up to the bully and smack him around. Torrent's going to try to do that right here.
Torrent putting on an excellent show. Xenomorph up on the rails, figuratively, almost literally. Xenomorph so deadly. The drive side struggling a little bit. There's the shot! Torrent heading into the ceiling of the arena and then getting hit from the back, erupting into smoke! Torrent has seconds to live. Can it make the best of it? It took a short trip on a long flight through the air.
Torrent is doing its best disco impression. It is dead on the ground.
Xenomorph showing why it is one of the most feared robots in the building, and in fact, in the sport, delivering an incredible knockout. A ridiculous performance from Xenomorph. That has gotta feel good for David Dreyer. Coming all the way from Ohio today, an aerospace engineer. He has been on such a rise to fame. I don't even know if we can say that anymore, Dima. It feels like for the last few events that Xenomorph has arrived at, that they are just the robot to beat.
David has felt like a rising star, but you're right. At what point do you just become a star, a fixture? But it looks like, here's the thing, he's still on the rise. He's looking so clean and crisp in the first NHRL Pro Tour.
Yeah, I cannot believe how much this robot has leveled up. I didn't think there was a much higher level for Xenomorph to achieve. Let's take a look at the performance in this fight in the replay. Xenomorph just stalking its prey, keeping the weapon towards the opponent.
It lost some plastic, that's that white flinging off of Xenomorph, but it seemed mostly inconsequential because if Xenomorph hits you first, you're in a bad spot. If you hit Xenomorph first, you're in a good spot.
Look at that hit. That took the weapon belt off, and then this follow hit right there, that did a number on the batteries. A fire immediately erupts. And let's not undersell this. Xenomorph took heavy damage. I do not want to underplay the damage it took to that white plastic armor at the front of the robot. One more hit and it would be dead. This is a robot that does not come with a lot of extra lives, and it spent all of them in that fight to take home a win.
Absolutely. Although ease of repair is going to matter, so I hope that they have a good plan in the pits. I think Sam has some cage side info from the builders themselves.
I sure hope so, Dima. I am here with David of Xenomorph, and that was incredible. But you did not come out of that unscathed. The damage that you took, are you going to be able to fix this before your next fight?
God, I hope so. Yeah, Torrent, man, he's a tough competitor. Got some really good hits on me. You saw the drive jammed up there for a second. I thought it was all over. And something freed back up. We were able to get the knockout, and I mean, we're definitely tore up. We're kind of hanging on by a thread, but I think we'll get it back in fighting shape.
All right, well, I have faith in you. I know this crowd has faith in you. Do Adam and Kyle have faith?
Yeah, it's coming to us. It was so nice to see David crushing it in that matchup. Absolutely incredible. We're in the 12-pound bracket. We're going to go ahead and see exactly how we got to this point. 12-pound bracket right here.
Xenomorph winning that fight that we've been talking about since the top of the show. Banger hits. RoboCat Maximizer is coming up next, but we've got Void and Buzzkill and Infrared versus That's a Lot of TPU. They are 3-0 coming into this bracket, but they're going to have to cut through a giant pile of rubber to keep going.
So many good drivers in this weight class. Let's meet our next competitors right now from Cincinnati, Ohio, and the University of Cincinnati Combat Robotics team. It's Ben Haas, and it's RoboCat!
And he's fighting from Louisville, Kentucky, and Black Cat Club. It's Jake Hoffman and his robot, Maximizer!
All right, to call all of this action, we are going to the booth. Let's go.
Let's jump right into it. Seed number 2 is RoboCat, a 23-11 record. This is nearly 3/4 of the time delivering a knockout. That's a lot of experience behind it, but shockingly, they're actually less experienced than their opponent in this fight.
Jake Hoffman, the driver of Maximizer, has almost double the wins and a similar amount of losses. He has an increased win probability according to our calculations for a reason. Not only is this robot expertly engineered, it's expertly driven, it is a joy to watch. It is one of the only Thagomizer type robots in the sport. For those who don't know what that word means, if you can remember from your elementary school classes, what does a Stegosaurus tail look like? It's like a big mace at the end of that tail, and it swings around to tail whip you like Godzilla. That's exactly what Jake tries to do with Maximizer. There's a spinning weapon on its back, and it tries to lock horns with you in the front, then flip around and get bite by spinning the tail into you.
It is an incredibly effective strategy when executed perfectly, but it takes so much driving skill to pull it off. Jake has been at the forefront of just being the driver to be able to accomplish this. Other people have built Thagomizer-style robots, and other people haven't had the nerve and the skill to pull off wins with them.
Here's the thing, too. Jake never gives up, and he keeps iterating every single event. This is Maximizer is his baby. That's Max right there in the cage.
It is a terrifying robot. That said, we need to introduce, we've had struggles, reliability struggles all day from Maximizer.
Yes, sir.
That could be the deciding factor in this match.
Ben Haas is no slouch either. If he smells blood in the water, if he smells Jake malfunctioning, he will capitalize.
He absolutely will. We're going to find out what happens right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away we
Robots
go.
fight.
Maximizer quick out of the box, spinning up that blade. RoboCat looking for an opening, but tumbling instead.
Here's that Thagomizer in action.
Jake is being very cautious with these shots. He might not be able to pull off many of them with a weapon that has been breaking on him in almost every fight today.
This blade looks different than the blade we saw earlier, though.
Those weapon-to-weapon hits can be brutal, and he's spinning it a little slower than Jake might otherwise do.
He's going berserker mode with spinning his whole body.
You can see bits of arena floor going missing on occasion. This isn't the tactical driving that we usually see out of Jake. A piece has gone missing, I think, from RoboCat, some of the side armor.
That looks like a piece of fork, too.
You're absolutely right, Dima. Wow, look at that, launching into the arena wall. RoboCat wants to chain those sort of attacks to really get an edge in this match.
I think here's exactly what I mentioned. Ben Haas is smelling blood with a couple of those impacts. Going in for aggression. There we go.
And another one. Jake is lining up small hit after small hit, but boy, when RoboCat connects, Maximizer goes flying.
Maximizer usually gets sent away. It doesn't usually get popped up like this. RoboCat is built different.
Oh my goodness, that was a piece of Maximizer being shorn loose. I can't tell what it does, but it's not good that it's not there. Oh, the weapon has gone down on RoboCat now.
I think that when Jake is upside down like that, that was a really bad angle for RoboCat to eat hits on.
RoboCat upside down. This is Jake's moment to deliver some serious damage to places he wouldn't usually be able to reach.
Yeah, he is touching the tail right into the weapon assembly itself. If it wasn't dead before, it's dead now.
Just under a minute left in this match. RoboCat calling for an unstick, trying to get right side up again. Getting smacked in the tail and then the face.
Maximizer leaving nothing to chance here, taking every single hit he can. Because I think this might be going to the judges unless he can get a KO in these last 30 seconds.
It's really tough to knock out RoboCat. That's a robot with 9 lives, but Maximizer is sure as hell gonna try. Oh, but now Maximizer has slowed down. That weapon has crawled to a stop.
Uh-oh.
Maximizer is not a weapon that's particularly good at being used when it's down. That sounds almost silly to say, but some weapons are good at pushing and some are not. Maximizer is not, and this is not the way that Jake wanted to finish this match.
I think this might be battery. Look at how slow he's driving, too.
I did clearly see some weapon movement, and I saw both drive sides move at least a little bit. But boy, that is not the best look as the fight ends. Remember, you are not penalized if your robot fails at 3 minutes and 1 second. It's at 3 minutes, what was the condition of your robot? But it was certainly on its last legs in the last seconds of that match.
Absolutely. I do not want to be a judge today. I love being in the bunker. I just get to watch. But oh my God, what a fight. Immense skill on display here. There is so much skill in the 12-pound division, and you are looking at two of the most talented drivers in the division.
I think that Jake just literally ran that battery down to 0.
I think so too.
And the robot simply decided it had had enough. But there is, you come from a fighting background, I come from a race car background. There's a saying that it is totally fine if your race car falls apart the moment it crosses the finish line.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's kind of the way the judges are supposed to act here at NHRL. The only question becomes, and we're going to go into the replay and take a look. When did that damage occur? Did it occur at 2 minutes and 59 seconds? or did it occur at 3 minutes and 1 second?
We're seeing these early engages where it looked like Maximizer was on the back foot, getting popped up and getting knocked around.
I gotta say, Dima, Maximizer landed so many careful strikes on the side of RoboCat. It tanked these big hits, yes, but it's these little bits, these little hits on the side. That one there, for instance, that accumulated damage on RoboCat that eventually led to their weapon going down, them becoming inverted. There's another one, these small blows, these shows of aggression that are very careful, very calculated, and ultimately gave them the edge for the bulk of that fight.
Even though they're small hits, because they are coming with Thagomizer action, they are always filled with bite. They're always going to do damage no matter how small. We are loading out, though. I am so excited for this judge's decision. I honestly can't wait. I want everybody in the crowd to go nuts no matter who wins.
We're gonna go to Sam. He's cage side with more.
Thank you, Ricky. I am here with both competitors from that fight, Jake Hoffman and Ben Haas. And you two had some sort of a mentor-mentee relationship at the start of your robot fighting career. Is that true, Jake?
It wasn't too long ago that Ben was a kid in the back of the class learning Fusion 360, and I can't be more proud of him. What you've done with the club is fantastic. I'm so proud of you, man. And it's been an honor to fight you just now.
And Ben, how does it feel fighting Jake, the man that you came up under?
I mean, he got me into the sport, so, definitely a little nervous, definitely a little, sketched out about going into it, but it was a good fight, and we'll see how it went. I'm very happy we got this opportunity.
And Ben, we will see how it went actually right now, because the judge's decision is in, and your winner is RoboCat. Split decision on that one. Adam, Kyle, take it away.
What a close matchup. Split decision victory for Ben Haas and RoboCat.
You can't get much closer than that. 1 point away from a complete split.
That is absolutely insane. Really nice matchup between these two Ohio-based robots.
Non-stop, unbelievable fights all night long. But to go against your mentor and win, what a passing of the torch moment there.
Absolutely. All right, we are now ready to meet our next competitors. Representing Team Defective from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's Trevor Summer, and it's Void.
And they're up against, from California, Maryland, it's Team Honeycracked, Liam King, and their robot, Buzzkill.
Let's go to the booth for this tale of the tape.
Thank you, Kyle. I am really excited for this one, just like I am for every single event, for every single fight in this event. Void is an all-star driver. Trevor Summer, a 21-10 record and a 71% KO chance in those 21 wins. It is unfavored, though, because Buzzkill is #1 seed for a reason.
Buzzkill is probably the most experienced NHRL competitor in terms of fights in the building, a 56% win percentage, and an absolutely unbelievable amount of stick time make Liam King and Buzzkill the robot to beat in this class.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Little bit of a slow start from both robots. I don't know if that's nerves or attrition throughout the day. Sizing each other up. Buzzkill with a couple of glancing blows, sparks flying. Void getting under Buzzkill, and Buzzkill going into the air.
Now Buzzkill speeds up. Now we take these.
And now Void speeds up to match. Both robots going flying. The wedge on the front of Void favors a fast attack. Buzzkill doesn't want to give that to Void.
Buzzkill's upside down. That weapon hits at a totally new angle, though.
That angle might be good for Buzzkill. I don't know. It lets them hit weapon to weapon on Void and potentially do more damage to the weapon system. Buzzkill marching forward like a soldier with a lance, looking for an opening.
Sparks are flying.
Void so controlled, so measured in its attack. Both robots looking for the other to flinch. Which one will faint first?
Here's the Buzzkill strategy. Circle around with superior driving. Try to find hits and undercut on the side or the back of Void.
Buzzkill, one of the most shark-like robots in driving style. Oh, and the weapon spins down for a moment and then comes back up on Buzzkill. I think these hits are getting to Liam King.
I think so too, and you gotta be careful riding on your weapon like that when you're on your side.
That is exactly what tires out a big spinner like Buzzkill. But Void isn't able to capitalize on these moments either. Wow, that is the biggest hit we've seen so far. Void being inverted, sent into the wall, bouncing around, finally finding its footing again. Oh, and smoke is pouring from Void. That's a weapon belt burning itself to pieces. The bearing has gone bad on Void's weapon. And Buzzkill now has the advantage with the only spinning blade in the box.
Void has 35 seconds to try to do its best to use its metal to take Buzzkill's weapon down. Can they do it?
Look at the holes that have been pierced in the armor package on the front of Void. A couple more good hits could land a crushing blow to the battery of Void, but there's only 20 seconds left to do so.
I have a feeling this one is gonna go to the judges.
With that downed weapon on Void, this is gonna be a decisive fight in the judges' eyes unless something happens in 5, 4, 3, 2, and another big hit. Did it work? Was it enough? Wow. That is a nail-biting fight, back and forth. Big damage on both parts, but only Void showed a fully dysfunctional system at the end of that match.
Absolutely, there is a clear advantage in the condition score here. Liam King might have taken some damage, but it doesn't look like their systems were affected. But Void's weapon went down in crucial and spectacular fashion.
Yeah, that weapon smoked itself something fierce. It could have been the belt, it could have been the weapon motor. I'm leaning towards the belt given the kind of smoke it put off. In any case, it was down at the end of the fight. Let's see how it got there. You can see these careful, very calculated engagements earlier in the fight. They're just sizing each other up. Just little shocking blows and then a big one when Void finds its footing. That activated something in Liam King that suddenly upped the aggression on Buzzkill. We saw typical, in fact, cliche almost Buzzkill behavior where it starts circling the opponent best it can, looking for an opening. Look, it's a shark in a tank delivering big kinetic energy blows. It's putting everything on the line, and eventually that was enough to do damage to the weapon system on Void, and the smoke came pouring out.
We don't usually see Buzzkill going for those size you up moments, take it easy. It usually starts at 100, at least metaphorically. But today, that's not the story.
Not the story, but I'll tell you who does have the story, Sam Hansen, who's cage side.
Thank you, Ricky. I am here with Liam of Buzzkill, and that fight was incredible. Buzzkill looked amazing, but I noticed at the start of the fight you were driving a little slower, a little more cautious, and then you weren't. What was that strategy shift all about?
So a lot of what I've been working on is the fork hoof technology to try to get under the wedge. I've had some successes, I've had some, mistakes, but basically the general idea is that normally you may have seen me drive very fast, the shark circle, try to weave around. But the problem is that it's very, very hard, and I realized that I need to be able to have a mode where I can just take it slow and just, realize what's going on and really put the pressure on my opponent to make a move instead of it always being on me to try to get around. So at the beginning of the match, I really just wanted to try out to see if the hoof would work, if the hoof could get under the wedge and be an effective strategy, and I ultimately think it was. Ultimately, what I think allowed me to get the win was by being able to alternate between the two, by being really fast and aggressive, and then switching gears and then being slow and putting the pressure on him. And ultimately, these two in tandem, I think was able to get me the win. So I'm very, very happy with this win. I know I've struggled with this very particular style of robot for a long time, and I'm so happy that I was finally able to win.
But Liam, this one went to the judges. You keep saying you've won.
Sorry.
But the judges' decision is in. And I have your winner right here, and it is Buzzkill and Liam King.
That would have been kind of awkward, but
yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Adam and Kyle. Take it away.
I mean, to his credit, that was pretty much a decisive victory the whole time.
It did look like he won.
Yeah, it would be pretty weird if he didn't win. We're gonna continue on with some 12-pound action. We've got two wide bots with very different strategies. The first one representing the Leatherbacks. That's right, it's Mitchell, and it's infrared. This bot's on a spectrum all their own.
And they're fighting from Bethany, Connecticut, and D2 Robotics. It's Dane Harday, and that's a lot of TPU.
We're gonna go directly to our friends in the booth for the tale of the tape.
Check out the number 12 seed Infrared. It has been doing fantastic today, really on a tear. A relatively new robot, a 6-2 record, but it has knocked out its opponents almost 2/3 of the time. Still, it's on the back foot against its opponent in this match.
Even though That's a Lot of TPU is a very defensive lifter, it has a 42% KO rate on those 9 wins across 4 events. That's because it does a great job of using its lifter to get you stuck and initiate the KO countdown. Can Dane Harday do that right here?
We are going to find out, and of course, That's a Lot of TPU is a family affair. This is a team that has been working together, D2 Robotics, that is the initials of the father and son pair, and they really bring something special cage side every single
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
There we
Robots
go.
fight.
That's a lot of TPU with a strong start, but they are immediately getting tossed into the air by their opponent.
Let's see how their crazy fork spaghetti.
Oh,
no!
Smoke coming out immediately. Those hits did serious damage. They've pierced a lithium polymer battery on the inside of That's a Lot of TPU. You can see the smoke escaping, and that's all she wrote. Your winner in this fight, Infrared Mitchell, is taking home the win.
In combat robots, TPU can sometimes be a miracle material. It is very hard to shred. It's very not brittle. It won't ever break, but you will still get shocks to your internal when you take a hit to the back.
More importantly, Dima, let me show you something very careful. If we can get a shot of these two robots, especially Infrared, the weapon blade, you can barely see it from this angle. The weapon blade on Infrared is sharp. And what a sharp weapon blade means is that a squishy material like TPU can be skewered. There's the shot. Look at the point on that weapon blade. That is much pointier, much sharper than most of the robots here, and that can pierce much deeper into just the vulnerable internals of a robot like That's a Lot of TPU.
Absolutely. Not all vertical spinners are created equal. Some are egg beaters or drums. Some are discs with teeth, and some are blades, and that is a blade.
Let's take a look at that blade in action in that fight. It had good engagement in that first exchange, but it's this second one that then gets the real good stuff inside. There, that shot right there. See that little hole in the back of the robot? That's what pierced into the battery and caused this smoke to start erupting from That's a Lot of TPU.
Ricky's got eagle eyes as always. When we see these camera shots in the booth, we get to see what goes down in these robots. That's a lot of TPU, very defensive. If this was a video game, it would have a high defense stat, but not enough for this specific matchup. You can't armor your entire robot with TPU spaghetti. The back is still vulnerable.
I mean, I'll just put this into perspective for folks at home that maybe haven't seen TPU robots fight before. Imagine you're a boxer and you are beating the ever-loving crap out of a punching bag, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine someone else comes up with a knife and just slits it down the middle and the sand comes pouring out to the ground.
That's a perfect analogy.
That's what we saw in the arena just now. Let's go to Adam and Kyle. I bet they have something to say about this.
Whew. Well, that was a lot.
I think they just needed more TPU.
You know, that probably would have helped some of the back-end TPU, some of the front-end TPU, just a little bit more.
They just need a lot more TPU. Maybe next time.
Dane is an amazing driver. That was just such a tough matchup for him. 12 pounds in the books. We are ready for the 2 semifinals on that one. So excited. But now we go into the big bot action. Let's talk about this 30-pound bracket and how we got here.
A lot has been going on. We went through the first round to establish Gord, Megatron, Kazaa Light, and Kazaa Ainz in the semifinals. But Kazaa Ainz forfeit to Kazaa Light, meaning we already have Kazaa Light as one of our 2 finalists, but we still have one 30-pound fight left to determine who their opponent's gonna be, Megatron and Gord.
Gord has been on an absolute tear today. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors right now. First up, it's Gord! Coming in from Terre Haute, Indiana, representing the Rose Human Combat Robotics team, it's Carter Kurtz and Gord.
And they are up against, from Cambridge, Massachusetts, it's two-time world champion Jameson Go and Megatron!
To call every moment of this 30-pound action, we are going to go deep down into the play-by-play booth with Dima and Ricky. Let's go.
You can feel the cheers reverberating in the building. The number 5 seed, Gord, with only 2 events under its belt, a relative newcomer to this event, at least in the robot is, maybe not the team, a 7-2 record, knocking out opponents left and right almost 3/4 of the time. They are by far the underdog in this matchup, though.
They've been the underdog in every single matchup, though, and they are undefeated for a reason. But Megatron is the robot to beat today. Jameson Go, one of the all-stars of the sport, 63% KO rate across 48 wins in 14 events. Jameson Go, one of the most decorated sportsmen in all of NHRL, especially here in Pro Tour today. He's the one to beat.
I'm interested to see who comes out of this alive. The winner of this going on to fight Kazaa Light in the finals, and both of them have a really good shot at a victory in that matchup.
Readying up both corners.
The crowd goes quiet.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight,
You
robots,
can see the fork
fight.
package on the front of Megatron. He's coming out swinging. The robots have locked horns, and Gord is looking for its opening.
Those forks are going to prevent Gord from touching it. Basically, there we go. It's protecting and keeping it at bay.
Gord has had an absolutely unstoppable ground game today, getting under every opponent. Megatron is doing the best we've seen at countering that skill. Can they keep it up, though? Another couple hits like that on Megatron, and the weapon is going to get torn to pieces.
The hammer saw hangs in the back because it is vulnerable. Can't let Gord touch that.
That's the hit that Gord wants, sending their opponent into the arena wall and chaining damaging critical hits.
My memory serves me right. I'm pretty sure Megatron is a bad guy. Gord is trying to be a hero here.
That was a good-sized hit on the top of Gord, but Gord is running an armor package especially made for Megatron in this matchup. They can take a hit or two. The question is, can Megatron?
Megatron getting sent end over end.
But Gord not able to combo into a series of hits. That's what they're gonna need to do to win this fight. Not get stuck on top of Megatron's rails. Oh, and the weapon has gone down on Gord. That changes everything in this fight.
Absolutely it does.
Oh, Gord doesn't give a crap. It's going weapon to weapon. It says, I'll break your fist with my face.
Megatron was able to get some reverse shots without actually swinging the arm, just spinning it while it's back, and now the top plate on Gord is sticking out.
Part of the top plate has been sheared right, like completely off.
You can see it dangling in the arena. Some more reverse shots from Megatron.
Gord upside down in exactly the wrong spot. They're immediately calling for an unstick.
Jameson,
but Jameson says, no, I'm gonna stop the house spot. 300 pounds of steel held at bay by a 30-pound robot. Flo trying desperately to free its opponent. This is the end of the unstick, and it's enough! By the skin of his teeth, Gord is back in the game. But how will it answer Megatron? 23 seconds left.
Megatron's reach prevents, with the forks, prevents it from getting shots like right there, but it doesn't need any anymore, I don't think.
Another big blow. You can see that armor is taking a beating on the top of Gord.
Gord doing their damnedest, fighting their heart out to the very end.
What an incredible match. Carter Kurtz taking it the distance against Jameson Go. This will be going to the judges. Gord taking weapon damage, taking armor damage. Look at the entire top panel ripped clean off.
Armor that was specifically chosen to be able to tank hits from Megatron's saw. Shorn off, that doesn't feel good.
Both of these robots still able to drive by. Jameson looking pleased as absolute punch. Let's take a look at the replay. That is an incredibly aggressive start from Jameson Go piloting Megatron in this match. The two robots immediately lock horns, both looking for an opening.
Here's the thing in this replay, especially in that box rush, you can kind of see that Megatron is one of those all-rounder robots that has it all. It has a devastating weapon that goes for critical hits. It has drive, speed, and power to get those setups. And it has ground game with those very long forks and an armor package that protects it from Gord's weapon.
It is amazing to me that Megatron was able to escape these big exchanges without deep damage to the robot. It does not have a lot of underside armor. It is incredibly lucky that those hits didn't pierce something vital. But it was Jameson Go's skill building on that luck that was able to deliver what appears to be a victory for Megatron here, taking out the weapon on Gord and delivering major blows to that top armor package over the course of the fight.
Well, that's the thing. An amazing display from Megatron, to be sure, but not necessarily surprising. That is the experience and the expertise of Jameson Go in action. We're going to go to the judges pretty soon. We're going to have a decision for you, but I don't think it's looking great for Gord. This might be the end of their undefeated run in only their second event. My goodness.
Let's take a moment just to point out, Gord has had an absolutely Cinderella story of a day, careening up. First off, just the fact it's here in the Pro League at all, it was a hard-won victory to qualify for this event, and they absolutely made the most of that opportunity, just knocking out robots left and right with the most incredible ground game that we have seen from a robot in a long, long time. We're gonna go cage side now with Sam. Sam, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Ricky. I am here with your winner by judges' decision of that last match, Jameson Go. Congratulations, JMO.
Thank you.
And JMO, that means you have Kazaa Light next. Are you ready to face the flamethrowers?
You know, I fought him. I fought Light before. I fought Ainz as well. Looking forward to it. I might be the only robot that has a consistently good record on it. I'm going to try to keep it that way. He dodged me at finals, but he can't escape this time.
All right, there is no escape for Kazaa Light from Megatron. J-Mo said it. Adam and Kyle, what do y'all say?
I say that the two-time world champion is going to face the current reigning and defending world champion next up here at the Pro Tour event.
What a final this is going to be. Jameson has fought the Kazaa series 3 times, beating Kazaa Light twice and Kazaa Ainz once. Can Joshua Reinhardt do anything to take down Megatron?
I think that Megatron might just be the Kazaa kryptonite that we need for today.
We'll
All right.
see.
That is all we got for the 30-pound semifinal division. We are going directly into the 3-pound bracket. Adam, how did we get here?
Anubis taking out Pipeline Punch and Warhard taking out Rhino is going to set up the first semifinal of the night. Turbo Fiend made it through Eruption, and Fragment X against Colossus was a stunner, with Colossus taking out the victory. They're going to try to put another robot into the wall.
All right, let's go ahead and meet our very first competitors in this 3-pound semi. First up, from Rochester, New York, representing RIT Combat, it's Anthony Pieria and Anubis!
And they are facing from Houston, Texas. It's Jonathan Juarez and Warhard!
He is the least hype man here today, but believe me, this robot is explosive in the box. And let's go directly to the tail of the tape and our experts in the play-by-play booth.
Let's take a look. Anubis, the number 10 seed, has been dead nuts reliable today. This is an experienced builder with an impressive record and knocks its opponents out 65% of the time. We are giving them the edge in this match, but not by a huge margin.
These two robots have been iterated on for years and years. These are not new robots. These are robots that have improved every single event they came to. If you look at their experience per event, their record, their KO percentage, these look like two really similar robots. Our predictions just give the edge to Anubis. I think this is going to be a really, really even fight. We have two drum-style robots, but the devil is in the details.
You know, I am predicting some roof shots in this match, Dima.
I'd bet on that.
Look at that. You can see the metal stamping mark still on the front of Warhard.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away we go. Both
fight.
robots up to speed immediately, but Anubis coming out swinging. Such an incredibly fast robot, looking for its hit and finding one. Warhard stuck on the rails.
Anubis is going to wait for them to call the unstick. As soon as the lights turn blue, get that hit.
These are punishing hits, and the weapon is already down on Warhard. Does anyone have an answer for this brutal punishment that Anubis can dish out?
Those extremely punishing hits. You already spent your unstick. You are stuck once more on the kick plate. Here is the KO count. Could this be the end of the Juarez run?
Barring a miracle, this is gonna be it. Anubis, once again, a guide to the underworld for its opponents. The Egyptian deity of death and
judgment.
Doling it out viciously on its opponent. Warhard has looked unstoppable, unflappable, unfazable all day, and in the blink of an eye, Anubis said, absolutely not. Down to the underworld you go.
Let's just hit that floss real quick.
Yeah, well, you gotta. Look, robots are robots. Business is business, but when you gotta floss, you gotta floss. 10 out of 10 approval rating from local dentists.
Anubis is just so stupid fast. We're going to see it in the replays shortly, but it's the fastest robot in the room by far. You see that box rush, blink and you miss it. Even in slow-mo, look at how fast it is. It's ridiculous.
I cannot stress enough how incredibly hard it is and the reflexes that are required to pilot a robot like this. A lot of builders can make their robot faster and they simply don't because they don't have the driving skill to back up that sort of agility. Today, we are seeing Anubis frankly hit new heights of robotic control and aggressive weapon delivery. We are going to Sam, who's cage side, and gonna tell us more.
Thank you, Ricky. I am here with Anthony from Anubis, and Anubis is on a tear today, Anthony.
Thank you, yeah.
And so, you've punched your ticket to the final. Who would you rather fight from these next 2 3-pounders we're about to see?
I would much rather fight Julian and Turbo Fiend. 1, because I owe him some payback, and 2, because Colossus terrifies me.
I think Colossus terrifies a lot of robots, so that's understandable. Do you have anything special in store if you fight a big wheel?
I don't. Since I fought him in February, I thought about it a lot, and I couldn't come up with a solution that I liked. So I'll just have to stay on the game, stay mobile, and try to just go for his wheels to whittle him down.
All right, well, I know you're going to be watching this next fight as intently as the rest of us here in the House of Havoc, so looking forward to it, and congratulations again, and Adam and Kyle, we're headed your way.
Wow, that was an insane matchup. It is crazy to watch Anubis become this unbeatable robot before our eyes in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely wild run they're on. Can they complete it?
Oh my goodness. Well, we are going to find out who they are going to face next up as this 3-pound semifinal continues. And first up, from Old Lyme, Connecticut, it's representing Pandemonium. It's Julian, Papazian, and Turbo Fiend.
And they'll be facing from Waltham, Massachusetts and Brandeis Robotics. It's Samuel Herman and Colossus!
And to call every minute of this 3-pound semifinal action, we are going to go deep into the underground bunker with our combat robotics experts, Ricky, Dima. Let's go!
So, Turbo Fiend has 12 events and a golden dumpster from an open qualifying event. First place finish under its belt. It's a 53% KO chance across 42 wins. The win probability is looking significantly favored in Colossus, but I think we chalk that up a lot to seeding and momentum from these previous fights.
It's not just seeding and momentum. Colossus is a terror from above. Robots like this, especially experienced ones, can rain down holy hell on top of low-slung opponents like Turbo Fiend. This is a robot with a sharp blade that may well be able to dig into the otherwise hard-to-beat TPU armor that makes up the chassis of Turbo Fiend.
Absolutely. Julian has some configuration changes in mind against the big wheel. Let's see if they work out for him. I got to assume that Colossus is high on their own supply after that big bad Brett bonus.
Yeah, what a moment that was. I know they're going to be hungry for another incredible fight, just like we saw from them last time around.
Whoever wins this goes into finals.
They do. And whoever wins this is going to want to carry home that energy from this fight into their final match. Interesting. Something seems to be going on cage side. We have seen interesting behavior from the Colossus team so far in the day.
Looks like they're working maybe just a simple off and on issue on the transmitter.
It's hard to say. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of interference issue. In any case, they do appear to have decided to start the match.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away we go. Both
fight.
robots up to speed quickly. A big hit from Colossus on Turbo Fiend, sending them into the corner and then sending them into the roof.
Turbo Fiend's turn for a couple impacts, hoping to get damage on the wheels. Turbo Fiend has fought a big wheel before, but never one like Colossus.
Turbo Fiend getting sent into the air again. Now gyro dancing around the arena, struggling to find its footing before being hit in the face again.
Looks like Julian's trying to pick his shots carefully, but Colossus is not giving him the time to do that. That was a bad hit on the side of Turbo Fiend, and one on the under.
Look at the pieces being sheared off of the side of Turbo Fiend. Colossus is starting to look like a juggler in a circus. And then Turbo Fiend coming back with a bit of revenge before being hit again. That backside hit was not good, though.
Turbo Fiend's weapon is tiny compared to Colossus's.
What a tee up. Is Colossus gonna strike? They do strike, but not a big blow. Oh, look at the armor peeling up on the top of Turbo Fiend. They cannot keep taking hits like this, Dima.
It has a lot of stamina, but it's not infinite.
Every one of these blows is adding up as Turbo Fiend goes head over feet. And smoke erupts into the arena. The battery has been ejected. That's the weapon battery that's still connected. It's still running, even as it blazes into smoke. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. But you know what? Julian says, give me some more. It ain't over till I'm a steaming pile of flaming garbage in the corner of the arena.
And I believe that is what he may become. The battery is out. There's no more fight left in him, but he's saying, give me some more.
Julian is saying, I ain't taking this piece of junk home. It failed me in the arena. Disassemble it for me. Samuel Herman is only so happy to oblige.
Okay, well, that's also my baby, too, so it does really suck to see it get absolutely destroyed with no hope.
The fight is just going as low. Wow! Oh my God! What is this?
Are you serious?
What is this?
What? Don't tap out now.
Tap out.
Okay.
What a ridiculous outcome!
What just happened?
I sure hope Colossus has spares. They were unstoppable against Turbo Fiend, shredding their opponent to pieces. But when Colossus hit our 60-pound armor-plated house robot, they tore themselves in two.
Oh my God. Now, Julian has been acting evil for the past year. He claims to be an evil persona. If I was him, I would not have tapped out. I would have let that been a double KO.
That is ridiculous. And both halves still run. That's the thing. It probably wouldn't even have gone to a KO. They probably would have been able to show enough movement in each half of that robot that the fight would have gone the distance. But instead, we have this absolutely absurd landscape, this vista of destruction. Look at the motor spin. That's the motor that drives the weapon. And look, that's enough wiggle. They damn well could have made it to the buzzer if they really had to.
How are you still alive? Genuine question, if you could answer it for me later.
This is ridiculous. You can't write these kind of outcomes. Adam and Kyle, you gotta speak for me because I have no words.
What? I've never seen that before.
Kyle, this is the Pro Tour, and they Pro Tour themselves in half.
I have never seen a robot win a fight, literally cut in two. That was absurd. What happened here?
Yeah, let's check it out from the start. Colossus pretty much controlled this fight. There was not much Turbo Fiend could do.
No, they were punting them around like a toddler.
Yeah, Turbo Fiend just so low to the ground, couldn't reach the chassis on Colossus, and couldn't really get a good grip on those wheels. Those are the only two things you can do, and otherwise, you're gonna get punted, as we've been seeing all day long. Julian, ever the sport, just wanted to see his robot get destroyed. You'll see it stop moving here, and he walks over to the Colossus team and says, keep hitting me. The rules here at NHRL say that if you keep hitting your opponent, the knockout clock doesn't start, it doesn't continue. You can only get counted out if you're not being hit. And so, as he requested to continually be hit, The timer never went out. There's
the battery. When the battery comes out of the robot, you see that there's a cut in the battery, exposing it to the air, setting it on fire immediately. And Julian says, I want more.
Yeah,
Give me more.
The motor comes out, the battery comes out, the pieces are coming off, and here we can see, bang, into the house robot, split in two.
Both sides independently working at that point, but the bot was
Here's
in
another
twain.
angle. It backs up into the house robot, and it comes down in two pieces. Still spinning. This robot is made in two different halves with completely separate electrical systems. So it works even when it's broken in half.
That was insane. And then Julian graciously tapped out,
He
so the
tapped
fight
out.
went to an end.
I think technically we could have seen a double knockout there.
Which would have sent this to the judges. So thank you, Julian, for taking one for the team
polite
there.
tap out.
Giving them the tap out victory.
The crowd is going wild to Sam cage side.
Thank you, Adam. I am here with Samuel Herman, and you came out of that match with twice as many robots as you went in with. What was going through your head? That was wild style.
Honestly, I'm not even sure at this point. I'm barely thinking, I'm just going through the motions. But man, there's something in the air tonight. We're live on DAZN. It's Pro League, and it's time to get a golden dumpster.
All right, Pro Tour is definitely in the air. We can't wait to see you in the finals. All right, Adam and Kyle, take it away.
And what an unpredictable, crazy final that will be. We are very excited about it. But right now, we've got one more bracket to discuss. Let's talk about the 12-pound bracket and how we got here. Adam.
Xenomorph hitting hard all day long, did so again, breaking through Torrent to set up a match against RoboCat, who beat their mentor, Maximizer, to get to the semifinals.
Down at the bottom, we've got Void getting defeated by Buzzkill, moving right along. Infrared ate all of that TPU, able to move on into the next round. This is going to be the match to watch right here.
Undefeated all day long.
Absolutely. Well, we are ready for our next fight. So first up, that's right, from Willoughby, Ohio, it's David Dreyer. It's the perfect life form. It's Xenomorph.
And it's the Battle of Ohio because they are up against, from Cincinnati, Ohio, and UCCR, it's Ben, Haas, and RoboCat!
And to call all of this Ohio on Ohio violence, we are going down to the play-by-play booth with Ricky and Dima.
Thank you so much. Let's jump into it. The number 3 seed Xenomorph, a terrifying machine, a 20-6 record and a reputation for tearing its opponents limb from limb. 6 events under its belt does nothing to tell you about the level of experience and skill behind this builder.
That's exactly how I feel about RoboCat. Jake said it best earlier. It's not too long ago that Ben Haas was the kid in the back of the class learning Fusion 360. Now he is here in the 12-pound semifinals of NHRL's inaugural Pro Tour event live on DAZN. He is looking to show that he has made it this far and is trying to go all the way.
It is going to be a heck of a matchup, but I frankly think that Xenomorph has a pretty big edge here. The reach on that weapon, if it can connect even once, is going to be able to hit delicate parts and not just the weapon blade of its opponent, and that has a much higher chance of dealing a killing blow early in the match.
Exactly. The weapon blade on Xenomorph is so large and powerful that sometimes all it really needs is one favorable engage to set up a kill.
On the flip side, if RoboCat can endure, this match is probably going their way.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Way to go.
Robots
Both
fight.
robots up to a quick spin up. Xenomorph sizing up the opponent. RoboCat very... Oh my goodness, look at those hits. And then Xenomorph up on the rails. Xenomorph very under-armored on its underside. It can't take those kind of blows. And a fork has already been cut off the front. RoboCat sending Xenomorph end over end. A flurry of activity and stuck on the rails again.
Can RoboCat capitalize on this chaos? That's going to make or break this fight.
Not quite, but none of the... Oh, and a belt has gone missing. I can't tell which robot lost it.
Looks like Xenomorph, judging by the off-kilter it's spinning.
Still anybody's match, and then Xenomorph completely stationary. A sudden stop. What's gone wrong?
A flash KO. Can this unstick jostle something free on Xenomorph? Is it merely a connection issue?
This could be a stunning end to this fight as RoboCat tries to fend off the house robot and prevent an unstick.
No point in beating a dead horse. We can just try our best to stop Flo from jostling any electronics free on Xenomorph, but I think it is dead as disco.
RoboCat trying its best, and I don't even know if it needed to. There's no coming back from whatever happened to Xenomorph. And that's your match. RoboCat walking its way into the 12-pound finals.
RoboCat feeling like Ripley, taking out Xenomorph. Not an easy feat.
Let's go right into the replays. This, frankly, was all RoboCat. Xenomorph got a couple of glancing blows, but that moment there, when it was up on the rails, was a big moment for Xenomorph's demise. It starts taking damage, and it just didn't stop. The forks were torn off relatively quickly, and it just suffered from then on out. It was that one big blow, though, that seemed to dislodge something, completely disabling Xenomorph in the middle of the arena. There was nothing the house bots could do to revive this particular dead alien throughout the period allotted for unsticks. It just did not want to come back from the dead.
Absolutely. We have a developing story up in the pits while Xenomorph loads out. Here's Infrared getting ready for their next fights. They've been battling some issues. I hope they are able to conquer those issues in time. They're twitch testing fine. They are seeing if they are in weight with this new configuration I assume they're running.
You could see them panic there. They were overweight, but it's because they forgot to take their weapon lock in. Weapon lock obviously weighs a little bit, puts them over the limit. It looked as though they still failed, so now they're frantically trying to remove any piece to just free up a couple of ounces to get under the 12-pound weight limit that they need to hit.
This is the story that you don't see in the cage. You see them in the pit. They're going to have to cut. They're going to have to find half of a pound to remove out of their
Not quite
robot.
half of a pound. It looks like their weapon lock is still in.
Okay.
So, or at least part of the weapon lock is still in. So they don't have to lose quite that much. They have to lose a couple ounces, a couple fractions of a pound. But on a 12-pound robot, a couple fractions of a pound is still a heck of a lot of weight.
That matters so much. And
there, the weapon lock is removed, both weapon locks, 12.02. One more nut, one more bolt could do it, but they're up against a shot clock here, Dima. They don't have forever to do this. They have to be within weight, within time.
All hands on the robot holding it in place so we can find those screws and get them out.
And every one of these bolts is there for a reason. They're not there for decoration.
Anybody who's made it this far in an NHRL tournament, especially those in Pro Tour, they are aware of what it takes to get
there it
your
is. Here's the shot. 12.01. No, there it is. They touched it. They touched it. They need another .01. It's so close. It's within the tolerance of the scale at this point. There it is, 11.99. They're gonna be able to go to the cage.
But they are versus Buzzkill. Is taking out all of those screws going to be worth it? That makes you vulnerable.
Let me tell you why they're up against this weight limit. You see that steel piece, that wedge that's under their weapon? They need that to have a hope against Buzzkill. That's a configuration change, and it is crucial to their strategy. Let's go to Sam. He's cage side.
Yes, thank you, Ricky. I am here with Ben Haas of RoboCat off of an amazing victory over Xenomorph. That was incredible. But going into the final, Ben, you've got Infrared and you've got Buzzkill. Who would you rather see?
I mean, Buzzkill definitely kicked my butt a while ago, but I've got a brand new undercutter config and a few other tricks up my sleeve. I've had a little bit of practice, so we'll see how it goes. Infrared was a tough fight. I fought him before as well, but I did win that one. However, he is getting better and better and scarier and scarier. But at the end of the day, I got one more fully built bot still ready to go.
All right, ready to go for the finals. We will see what happens with Infrared and Buzzkill. Adam and Kyle, take it away.
Wow. Ben Haas is consistently one of the builders to watch at these events now. RoboCat is just becoming more and more of a mainstay, a devastator in this event.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to fight against them. I'm hearing that Infrared is on their way down for the next fight, and they just made it here. They're ready to go.
Let's go ahead and meet our competitors. First up, from California, Maryland, representing the Leatherbacks, it's Liam King, and it's Buzzkill.
And they'll be facing from Boyd's, Maryland, and Team Leatherbacks. It's Mitchell Wolfer and Infrared!
Leatherback on leatherback action right here. Maryland versus Maryland. So excited to see who wins this fight. To call all of this violence, we are going to go to the play-by-play booth.
Could not be more excited for this as a Maryland resident and diehard fan of both of these teams. The #1 seed, Buzzkill. This record speaks for itself. We've talked about it all day long. An incredibly experienced builder going up against his roommate's robot.
Infrared, only 2 events under its belt, but that doesn't tell you the whole story. That proves that they got here off of the back of an electrifying first performance in an open qualifying event. They are labeled significantly lower with the win percentage, but I will say, today they are undefeated. Let's see if they can keep that momentum moving. Even Liam King has taken a loss today.
It can't be overstated how much that momentum can really count. When you are cooking, you are cooking. And today, Infrared is cooking.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots.
Away we go, both robots spun up quick. Oh, and a drive issue right out of the bat. It's not oh, what a hit on the underside of Buzzkill. Getting set into the arena wall.
You would do such a thing to your roommates?
Infrared is just lining up hits. Oh, you see those sparks? That's Infrared hitting its own weapon on its own armor.
That's bad.
If that gets worse, that could mean failure for the systems on Infrared.
They'll certainly have to be conscious of it, but it's not like they can stop attacking, especially when they have this momentum.
No, they are trying hard, but remember all those bolts that they lost in the pits. Anything could go wrong with this robot. It could blow apart at any minute. So far, it's holding together, and it is dealing blow after blow to Buzzkill. Buzzkill's fork is bent under.
Liam is, oh my goodness, circling, looking for an advantage, but all it's hitting is wedge. It doesn't want to hit that metal plate on the front of Infrared, and that's all it's hitting for the past few engages.
Buzzkill being destabilized over and over. Infrared winning almost every exchange, circling its prey. We're used to Buzzkill as the shark, but there's a new alpha predator in town.
No organism on the planet is immune to
and
Infrared.
The weapon goes down for a moment on Infrared. But it's back and it's hitting hard. This is a relentless beating being doled out on Buzzkill.
Buzzkill still standing, still looking for an opportunity, still performing their game plan. What else can you do?
Dima, tell me about organisms. Tell me what they're weak to.
I think Infrared's right now not looking weak to anything.
I'd agree with you. Almost nothing can hold up to this kind of beating as Buzzkill narrowly avoids becoming a hat for our house bot. How is Buzzkill still going? The weapon has stopped on both robots. Will they come back? No, both robots have disabled weapons. But that was a brutal beatdown.
Now we're gonna have 40 seconds of a shoving match, where Infrared is significantly favored with that wide dustpan shape, and the forks corralling Buzzkill into the corner.
That light weighting was clearly worth it, but now Infrared is slowing down. The front armor on Infrared has been torn off entirely.
That is gonna matter for condition.
That plow is just gone, Dima. We're coming down on the last 10 seconds. This will be going to the judges. My God, what a fight.
Fearless driving from Mitchell here. Who's afraid of a big bad #1 seed?
I'll tell you what, win or lose, it doesn't matter which one of these robots takes home a gold. There's gonna be a party in that dorm room tonight.
I can only imagine. That was a slugfest from start to finish.
Incredible. That was the most action-packed fight that we've seen in so long. How did Buzzkill keep going?
It's a really good question. You got to imagine these two are talking constantly about game plan and strategy, and they had to exact it on each other. Let's see those replays.
Infrared off to a very cautious and almost back-footed start, and then once the hits start coming, they don't stop coming. Infrared stuck to the ground. They hit the ground running. Look at these exchanges. Buzzkill had them going for a minute before they repelled with the force of the kinetic energy of Infrared's weapon. This was a stunning display of non-stop attack. That was the moment right there. It broke the weapon on Infrared into two pieces. Dima, I'm gonna say with confidence that that was actually Infrared slicing its own weapon in two. We saw it bounce up earlier in the match and spark. It bounces up just a little bit too much and it gets blown to smithereens.
Expert analysis. I would trust that analysis if I was a viewer at home, but Sam is cage side with some more info from the builders.
I am, Dima. Thank you so much. I am here with Mitchell and Liam from that last match. And Mitchell, you told me that Liam's your roommate?
Yeah, we've been living together for about 2 semesters now, since Liam was like, hey, it'd be cool if we made a Leatherbacks apartment. So, yeah, we kind of just have a whole living room full of robot stuff. Liam printed this Baleen that is running against him. So, yeah, it's been great.
And Liam, as a Leatherbacks household, is it fighting robots all the time?
Yeah, well, we used to fight plants a lot, but then as we got more and more into the big classes, you know, we fought less. But I'm very happy to be, you know, to fight him again. I feel like this is a throwback to how, you know, we actually have plant versions of the exact robots, and his version would kick mine's butt every single time. So almost had him, but man, maybe I should have printed that Baleen a little bit lighter.
All right. Well, gentlemen, the judge's decision is in, and your winner is Infrared. All right, Kyle, Adam, take it away.
Decisive win for Mitchell and Infrared there. What a Leatherbacks matchup. That was amazing.
Infrared remains unbeaten through the qualifiers and the tournament so far. Can anyone take them down? There's just one more fight keeping them from the championship.
We've got a story going on upstairs in the pits. Let's check in up there and see what's going on right now.
Yeah, so they have been having issues all day long running these big wheels. Stuff has just been going wrong, and they've got all hands on deck inside the robot. The last time we saw this with their 30-pounder, it ended in flames in the arena when they turned it on. How's this going to go?
I love the fact that they have Schultz, the godfather of all big wheels, here helping them work on this robot right now, trying to get this thing ready to go. The big wheel builders tend to stick together.
Yeah, it's a close-knit crew, and there's a lot of, secrets to the trade that they won't tell me about how to run these big wheels.
All right, so we are about to go into our last bracket, the 30-pound bracket. Let's see how we got here, Adam.
We've got Megatron going up against Kazad Light. It's a former two-time world champion going up against the reigning world champion. To get here, Megatron went through Gord and Dead Rise in brutal fights, but they haven't been unbeatable today, losing in a massive KO in the qualifiers. So they haven't looked as good as they can be. Kazad Light, on the other hand, has looked amazing. They took out their own teammate in a forfeit, and then Synthesis 30 when they roasted them like a chicken dinner.
That was disgusting. There is no other way of describing that fight than disgusting. I am so excited for this matchup. Our competitors are ready right now. So first up, from Cambridge, Massachusetts, the most decorated man in all of combat robotics. He's coming out with former two-time 30-pound champion of the world. It's Megatron!
And they'll be fighting from Norwich, Connecticut, and Team 90s Kids. It's current and reigning third-pound champion of the world, Joshua Reinhardt and Kazaa Light!
And to call every second of this World Championship action, we're gonna go to Ricky and Dima in our state-of-the-art play-by-play booth.
Thank you so much. Let's jump right into the tail of the tape. Number 3 seed Megatron from the most decorated robot builder in all of combat robotics. A 49-11 record that's absolutely staggering, ending most of his matches in a KO, going up against the reigning champ.
Kazaa Light is number 1 seed for a reason. I've been saying it all day, but they are the ones to dethrone. They have been the king of Cage 1 this entire season and this entire last season. They made it here basically undefeated, but Megatron has the tech, perhaps, to deal with their intense armor package and their even more intense flame out of their multibot.
Let me tell you right now, the key to Kazaa Light's success in every match is the ground game. In our last matchup with Megatron, we saw Jameson Go take down the king of ground game that we've seen all day in Gord. So if there's a robot to defeat the underside, the underground game of Kazaa Light, its incredible forks, it's going to be Jameson Go and Megatron. Take a look. Jameson has come prepared, welding glasses, cage side, to be able to see through the fire of war that Kazaa Light brings to the table.
This is an overwhelming level of swag, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot lie to you.
Truly too cool for school. Interesting fork configuration on the front of Megatron. We'll see if it's enough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Here we
Robots
go.
fight.
Our grand finals is underway.
Oh, and look, Megatron immediately able to get under one half of Kazaa Light, but the other half sneaks up and torches from behind.
They are wasting no time with that flame, even without pins. They need to start doing damage to Megatron ASAP.
If Megatron can eat even one of them flipped over, it would be a game changer, and there it is! Megatron
Perfectly
needs
said.
to target the other side, get both of them upside down, and they become playthings. Oh, they torch each other! Can Megatron deal a blow? Look at that white plastic armor. That is a tasty snack for a hammer saw like Megatron.
He's trying to get a hit lined up, but Kazaa's winning the pushing fight when they have 2 to go against Megatron's 1.
The armor package on Megatron is working well, but it's hard to stand up to 2 flamethrowers for more than a few seconds. Jameson, I don't know if I would push my way into that.
But we are not in grand finals, and Jameson Go is.
It's his decision to make, and if he believes in him, I sure as hell do.
Kazaa Light exacting their game plan perfectly right here.
Jameson Go putting up a better fight than we've seen against any competitor against Kazaa Ainz today. This is still anybody's game as we come up on the halfway point of the match.
Looks like he's still trying to angle for a snipe, a kill shot on that still inverted robot. You can see the one that has the black top is right side up.
Look at it! Jameson has changed his approach. He's leading with the back end of his robot now, dealing damage backwards in the arena as he flips himself over.
That's a heads-up adaptation.
And a couple of hits, a couple of good hits on the front of Kazaa Light.
I think he's realized that if he does damage to the igniter, there's no more flame to damage him. And that igniter is in the front in between Kazaa's forks.
This is incredibly back and forth. Kazaa Light there's a good hit on the top of the black half of Kazaa Light.
Gonna need some more than that to finish the fight though with 45 seconds remaining in the grand finals.
These robots are stuck together. Jameson Go flailing a bit now.
Dealing with some gyro while he's keeping the weapon spin up because he needs damage.
There it is! That's the moment he needs. A couple more of those, and it's all over, but there's only 20 seconds left in the match.
If Kazaa Light can lock it in a pin in these last 10 seconds, that might be a death sentence.
Megatron saying, to hell with this, I'll just try my damnedest. And it's looking a lot like Hades in this match.
One more shots.
The flames are brewing. We are going to a judge's decision, and this is anybody's game.
Anybody's game, indeed. This is going to be really interesting. We have a quick prove it period. Everybody looks fully functional from where I'm standing.
Oh, but Jameson's drive has gone down at the end of that fight. The right-hand drive side is really struggling. I don't know if it's moving at all. I don't know if that happened in the last seconds of the fight or just as it crossed the finish line. Our judges will be reviewing the tape to see, but that makes an immense amount of difference. I think this fight was neck and neck up until the very end. But if that drive side goes down, that could be the decisive factor.
Yeah, well, the judges are going to have to check the tape and see if that drive went down in the last 20 seconds or so, or if that was purely from the prove it period.
Take a look at this replay. Megatron able to get under its opponent better than anyone has been able to get under Kazaa all day long, but they just struggled to find the hit even after they inverted half of Kazaa Light. And Kazaa Light barbecued its neighbor. They still weren't able to deliver the kill shot that Jameson was looking for. That said, they held Kazaa Light at bay so well throughout this match. They did not suffer any apparent damage from those barbecue moments. And Kazaa Light did suffer some major blows on its chassis from the hammer saw on Megatron.
But that goes to show just how much defense is packed into those little multi-bot chassis. All those hits from Megatron, and they still made it to the end of the fight with very little damage. I even wonder what kind of condition score the judges are going to give them. I'm not sure if anything really took any damage. Megatron definitely was in flame for so much of that fight. It is a miracle it did not even slow down until perhaps the end. Again, the judges will have to review that tape for their decision.
This is going to be tough. They were certainly at a point where I would have given Megatron the edge, but that damage at the end, depending on how the judges view it in the replays, is going to make all the difference. Frankly, seeing those replays just now, I'm starting to lead towards Kazaa Light.
We are just so close to crowning our first Pro Tour event champion on DAZN live in primetime. I literally at the edge of my seat. I can't wait. Not trying to rush the judges, though. Give it time. Give it time.
A wild outcome. Everyone is looking nervous cage side.
I feel a little anxiety in this body language. There can be only one winner in the 30-pound bracket, and we have been at it all day. Since 10 in the morning EST all the way to 10 at night, we have been live with the first ever professional robot fighting live event streamed on DAZN. It's just been so exhilarating, and it only keeps getting more exhilarating as we go on. We've seen more and more KOs, more and more slugfest. The competition locks in for this final top 8 in primetime. We are almost complete with the 30-pound bracket, but we will still have grand finals for the 12 and 3-pound divisions.
Incredible performance. What a way to end the 30-pound bracket and crown the first of our largest weight class here with a Pro Tour trophy.
Will Kazaa Light remain the king of Cage 1, or will Megatron reclaim the throne? Sam is going to tell us how close we are to that decision.
Oh, we are close, Dima, and I am up here on stage with our finalists in the 30-pound class. Jameson, go. You had Kazaa's number prior to this one. Do you think you still have Kazaa's number?
Well, if anyone's going to have his number, it's going to be me.
All right. And Josh, JMO's had your number for a while. Did you make any changes for this fight?
Nothing directly for JMO, really. We did have a new configuration designed by Pete, which we ran today. We had our old configuration, but we're having such fun with the new one that we just kept running it. So it's smaller to accommodate the newer fuel requirements. So.
All right, well, this judge's decision is in, and your 30-pound Pro Tour champion is Kazaa Light. Here you are, here you are. No. And Josh, here we are. And this is the winnings for Kazaa Light for the Spring Pro Tour here at the National Havoc Robot League.
What a moment for this team.
Overcoming their white whale, finally taking down Megatron on the 4th try.
What a cool trophy, by the way. This is the trophy for all of our winners tonight. This is the Pro Tour trophy. We are going to jump right back into this 3-pound action, and this 3-pound division has been insane today. It has been a changing of the guard. Walk us through it, Adam.
Anubis is going to be taking on Colossus. And to get there, they went through Warhard and Pipeline Punch, sending Pipeline Punch all the way back to Hawaii. But Colossus had an epic way to the finals, putting Fragment X into the wall and then completely dominating Turbo Fiend before breaking themselves in half.
All right, we're ready. Let's go ahead and meet our 3-pound competitors. First up from Rochester, New York, representing RIT Combat, it's Anthony Pieria and Anubis!
And they will be fighting from Waltham, Massachusetts, and Brandeis Robotics. It's Samuel Herman and Colossus!
It's kind of a big deal.
And it's back in one piece, Kyle.
Amazing. This matchup is going to be highly technical and highly destructive. And to call every second of this action, we are going to go to our state-of-the-art play-by-play bunker with Ricky and Dima.
Thank you, Kyle. I am so excited to be announcing Anubis having made it this far to Grand Finals. This robot has been iterated on since I got my start in combat robotics. I remember when it wasn't even purple. 13 events under his belt, over 50 fights under his belt too, a 66% KO win rate among those 34 wins. We are neck and neck with this win probability, 49% on Anubis' side.
It could go any way, but Colossus has something tonight. This robot, 5 events under its belt, and it has been doing something special in the arena. It's sending opponents flying. It's sending opponents, getting them lodged into the arena walls. It's coming back, offering another shot, and still taking home wins. It's a ridiculous run that this robot has been on today, and I am just over the moon that I get to see it in the finals here, taking on Anubis for all the glory in the world.
I don't know if they're putting something special in the Brandeis water supply, but if they are, keep doing it because this has been an electrifying top 8 for Colossus. Let's see if they can crown themselves the first 3-pound Pro Tour champion here at NHRL Live on DAZN.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots,
Robots
fight.
spun up quick. Look at the size difference between these two. Anubis buzzing around like a killer bee in the arena, looking for an opening. Colossus lumbering towards its opponent with its deadly blade at full speed.
This ludicrous speed is helping them avoid these shots, but Anubis still has to be careful.
Interesting effect. Anubis is able to hit Colossus, but they just kind of bounce up into the air. When Anubis gets hit, it goes careening into the arena wall.
That's the power of the wheels on the big wheel. They're very rubbery. They take an impact shockingly well.
A moment ago, we saw our first my goodness, Dima!
Went for an unstick really quickly so they
Anubis
weren't
got
vulnerable.
caught in the arena wall there. It did not mess around. Anthony immediately said, "Get me the heck out of here."
Those are those fast reflexes that allow Anthony to drive at this speed.
There's the hit that Colossus is looking for, sending Anubis into the wall, landing them upside down in the arena.
Anubis looking like it's stuck on its own armor, having drive side issues on the left. That's bad.
Chaining side shots on Anubis. Skill shots from Colossus.
Big wheels don't get a lot of combos, but oh, when they do.
Anubis has slowed down dramatically. His pieces have been ripped. Its left-hand drive now barely functioning. And a battery puncture! Smoke erupted into the arena! Colossus just cinched the victory!
We're gonna let the smoke evaporate, but folks, I think we are about to crown our first Pro Tour winner!
That's it, Robot fans! Your winner, the first 3-pound Pro Tour champion, Samuel Herman and Colossus! Anubis still wiggling in the arena, still having some life left, but not enough to avoid a knockout count.
Anthony is going to have to take Anubis back to the deep, dark underworld of the sand bucket for repairs.
What a wild end to an incredible day. Let's go to the replay. You can see Anubis incredibly aggressive, landing some very impressive hits on the wheel of Colossus. In fact, several very impressive hits. When it goes to weapon, even then it's tied. But it's only a matter of time before Colossus lucked out, or rather skilled out, and was able to land a blow on the side of Anubis. And after that started happening, it was all downhill. kill.
Anubis had to chain hits together on those wheels to make carnage happen, but the hits to Anubis's vulnerable portions from the top with the huge, colossal weapon are much more significant than what Anubis was able to do to the wheels.
Look, Anubis needed to drive perfect all day long. Colossus only needed to pick 1 or 2 good shots, and boy, did they pick them.
Fighting a big wheel is like a boss fight. They got a bigger weapon, a bigger body, but they have weak points. If Colossus can hide their weak points, and they did.
Dima, Samuel Herman, the driver of Colossus, is driving home tonight because in the morning, he's got college graduation.
What?
We're going to go to Kyle and Adam.
Brandeis University is truly losing a treasure when that kid graduates.
Every fight was epic tonight. He won by getting a robot stuck in the wall. He won by breaking himself in half, and then he slices through the top plate to secure the championship of this tournament tonight.
It really doesn't get more ridiculous than that. Like, the AI scriptwriters of NHRL really outdid themselves with this kid's storyline tonight. I'll tell you what.
How is any of this real?
How is any of it real? Insane performance by him. I am just blown away at this 3-pound bracket. A true changing of the guard. And Samuel Herman really showing his power tonight.
Yeah. Wow, tremendous performance. A big wheel taking home the win. Let's go to Sam for a little bit extra.
Yes, thank you, Adam. I am here with your 3-pound Pro Tour champion, Samuel Herman. And Sam, you've had an incredible day. Some of the wildest moments were associated with you. How has that been for you?
It has been nothing short of incredible. I will tell you that. It has been, and you know what's been the most incredible? The amount of support that I've gotten from the entire builder community. When I was rushing to get Gargantuan Colossus ready, like half of the pits came and they helped me get it ready. And I had a fire in the box, but it's okay because I was ready and I fought it and everyone was by my side during that. And this win, I want to dedicate to everyone that has touched this bot, even in the slightest. I hope every single one of you feels that this win is yours the same way that I do.
All right, so beautiful. And you've got nothing else going on this weekend, right?
I graduate tomorrow. I graduate university tomorrow. I have to drive back up to Boston tonight.
All right, well, before you do that, you have to hold your trophy high. Yes. And this Samuel Herman.
Blows my mind is how seriously everyone is taking that man with that hat on.
It's quite the hat, and he certainly earned that check. What a performance here tonight. Epic moment after epic moments, and he goes home a winner.
We've got just one weight class left tonight, and we are so excited.
There's a problem in the pits.
Let's go to the pits right now and see what we've got going on up there.
Ooh, there's a lot of hands in that robot, Kyle, and we are very close to fight time. They are coming down to the wire. You do not have forever.
I feel like we've seen this story before. It's very familiar looking. The last fight, these guys were just barely above weight. So what are they gonna do?
Yeah, so let's take a look closer in here, see what's trying to happen. They're working on the weapon axle here. This is the shaft inside of it that they're trying to tighten up. They're bolting on the front armor. They have the top panels on, but it looks like the battery is not in yet on this left side. Still seeing some wires coming out.
Well, I wouldn't want the battery in while I'm doing all that to the weapon shaft anyway.
Looks like they're trying to dial in the tension here, make sure it spins freely. A lot of these systems, you can crank them a little too tight and then bind them.
Oh, right, and that's going to stress out your motors, make it harder for you to move.
So you want to dial it in so you get a really nice spin. Looks like they're satisfied with it. They're getting the battery in there, bolting on the front, bolting on the top. I think they're going to make it to the arena. But boy, they cut it close.
Yeah, this is an insane story. What's with the college kids today not doing their homework?
Hey, they've timed it perfectly, Kyle. That's what I always used to say after a late night. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I left just enough time. And we just saw Colossus bolting on the top panel very late, and they took home the victory. So anything can happen here. As long as you get it together in time, you've got just as good a chance as anyone else.
That is relying on a lot of timing and luck.
These robots are dialed in, Kyle, to a T.
All right, let's go ahead and look at our bracket, which we've got loaded up right here. Oh.
Yeah, so RoboCat went through Xenomorph and Maximizer to get into the finals.
Down at the bottom, we've got Infrared eating a lot of TPU and taking out Buzzkill and making their way all the way to this final. Very excited to see this team go head-to-head.
I'm still looking at the feed from the pits, and they still look a little hectic, but I think they're getting ready to bring it down. Infrared has looked unbeatable all day long, completely undefeated through the qualifiers in the group stage and into the tournament bracket. They're going to look for one more victory to take home that trophy and the big check and close out the first ever NHRL Pro Tour spring event here live on DAZN.
Oh, RoboCat standing by, just waiting. Ben Haas, he did do the homework.
He looks relaxed, ready to go.
He's like, are these jokers ready yet? I just want to play.
You know, in other sports, sometimes we say too much rest, you know, it can get you out of the right mindset. But sometimes it's nice to take a little bit of a break before a fight. So what do you think, Kyle? Coming in fresh off the repair, hyped up with adrenaline, is that the better way to come into this fight? Or calm, cool, and collected?
It really depends on your nervous system as a person, right? Obviously, Ben seems really calm, cool, collected. His driving style is going to lend itself more to that mindset. But I don't know. You're right. That Infrared team has been frenetic, crazy all day. They might need the chaos.
I'm looking closely here. I think his safety lock is a paint roller. Now he's taking a nap. He's checking TikTok on his phone.
You know what? For a man from Ohio, that's a lot of riz. Checking in right now on Ben Haas of the UCCR team. He's just chill. He's ready to go. He wants this fight to start.
I'm looking at the feed of Infrared here on the side-by-side, and they are still working on this. They're on the underside now. There's a lot more going on than I first thought.
Yeah, they were not ready.
They took a lot of damage in that last fight. The front center frame rails were completely bent. If they had to replace them, that is a time-consuming repair. If they didn't have a spare ready to go. And looking at this pit table, I don't see that old frame anywhere. I think they had to replace them.
He doesn't even know which direction he's going in, trying to make his way out of the pits right now.
We saw them struggle with the way in earlier. They were right on the dot.
So they're taking it to the test cage to give it a quick spin up, see if their repairs worked, but they barely have any time.
They've only got 4 minutes. I don't think they have time to fix it if it doesn't work. I would go straight to the weigh-in.
No, it's do or die time right now. This thing better work, or they're just not going to be able to win this matchup.
Quick twitch test is a normal way to test before the fight. Just make sure it's running. They've got it turned on. They're going to take the safety out, close the door, and very quickly twitch test it. Spin up the weapon and drive like an inch.
Yeah, they've got to save the battery at this point, too. They don't want to waste too much of it.
Oh, the left side isn't working, but the weapon's working. Technically, that's enough to get going, but is that enough to win? You think they're going to try and fix that?
I don't know how. They've got to be under 4 minutes at this point.
I just don't think there's enough time.
No, they do have to get this thing weighed, I believe, before they go in as well.
And once you weigh it, you can't do anything to it.
Are we allowed to use
They need the time to weigh it and get it down the stairs, and Ben is still on TikTok.
He's texting people, hey, I got a fight coming up.
Will
They're
these
not ready.
guys ever be ready?
I got places to be, things to do.
Guys, it's late. I want to go to bed. People have to drive home for a graduation tomorrow?
2
We got
minutes and
stuff to do.
56 seconds. They don't seem in too much of a rush. I think they're going to the weigh-in table. They're going to fight it with half of drive.
And there you see, they are weighing it right now.
They were close before, but it looks like they're nicely under now. 11.38. They had weight to spare. Quick hydration break.
Two minutes, 23 seconds left on the repair countdown clock. Hydration is key when you go into the 12-pound final. Ben walks up to him and goes, come on, let's go. He's going to walk his opponent down the stairs. I love it.
It is funny to, hydrate after the weigh-in in a sport where you're not the one getting weighed in.
Oh, that was intense.
Wow. Cutting it down to the wire, but they're on their way from upstairs down to arena side, and we're going to get a final in the 12-pound class. Can they overcome a drive side down?
I highly doubt it.
Or will it come back to life? We've seen a lot of stuff tonight. Who's to say?
Both bots at the peak of their powers, this would be a very close matchup. I have to worry about that team coming in there if part of that drive side is down.
Huge repairs to be done after that semifinal fight, which was brutal, but the weapon worked, Kyle, and that has one hit knockout potential. If they can deliver it, anything can happen.
All right, let's go ahead and meet our competitors. Coming all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, it's Ben Haas, and it's RoboCat!
And they are fighting from Boyd's, Maryland, and Team Leatherbacks. It's Mitchell Wolfer and Infrared.
What a day for this Leatherbacks team. Making it all the way to the 12-pound finals. It's Maryland versus Ohio. And we're going to go to our friends in our state-of-the-art play-by-play booth to call all of this action.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I am pumped. I'm not going to pretend for a moment that my Maryland pride doesn't have me just a little bit biased coming into this fight.
No
rooting
worries,
for infrared.
No worries if you have a little Maryland favoritism. I will cover for you because I am so in love with RoboCat's performance today.
Both of these robots have been putting it all on the table, leaving nothing to chance. RoboCat has been just unstoppable. Oh my goodness, Dima. Look, we are now in the... They're not leaving well enough alone. We are in the 3-minute cage side repair window. You saw earlier, they were trying to repair. Let's go to Adam. I think he can walk us through this.
This is really interesting, Ricky. We saw upstairs that half the drive didn't work. They didn't have time left on the clock upstairs, and there's no way to extend that. But once you get cage side, you have a point where you can request 3 minutes in the cage to attempt to fix your robot. So they came down and requested the extra 3 minutes once down here. I think they planned that as soon as they saw that side not working upstairs.
This is the equivalent of pulling the fire alarm 2 minutes before your papers.
This is quite the strategic twist here, using every bit of time they can get to make the repair. But there's a risk here, because if they don't get that top back on in time, at 3 minutes, that is it. And there's the countdown. They've only got 1 minute and 47 seconds left. They've already used almost half the time.
I mean, in cage side time, that's kind of a lot.
This is hard. We've all been here before. Ricky, how are you feeling about this?
I am on the edge of my seat. I know, I'll put it this way, I know that this robot can make it into the fight. We know infrared, it functions enough to start a match. But infrared is going to need to be firing on all cylinders if it wants a chance to defeat RoboCat. RoboCat has been unstoppable today. So I think they're doing the right thing in taking every minute, every second that is afforded to them to try and come out swinging, firing on all cylinders. Still, the nerves are getting to me, just not knowing whether or not they're going to be able to pull this off in less than a minute remaining.
Less than a minute remaining left, but time does seem to slow down when you are making repairs like this. I have been in this situation. Oh, you hear that jingle?
That is the jingle. That means the electronics are working. It doesn't necessarily mean the motor is going to spin. There's so much more than just the electronics that drive it.
Absolutely.
Basically, you've got a chain, right? You've got the battery first, the electronics, then the motor, then the gearbox, then the wheel. All of those things have to work in synergy to make the robot drive. Let's go to the tail of the tape, and then we'll see what happens. You can start off with RoboCat, your personal favorite.
Number 2 seed for a reason. 9 events under their belt, a 25-11 record. 70% of those 25 wins are via KO. They are the favorite to win this fight. And I think we are going to not go the distance, especially judging by both these percentages.
I would not be surprised to see a dramatic knockout. It looks like the left side drive is not functioning. You can start a match like this. It's just a really, really unfortunate way for infrared to go into a fight.
They did their best to get it working. They could not in time. However, I have seen robots win with less, although they were not on a stage as big as this.
Look, we've seen infrared pull off miracles all day long. Ever the sportsman, if they're going to go pro, now is the time to prove it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots.
Away we go, both robots spinning up. RoboCat off to a very slow start out of the corner.
They're going to do their best to crab walk to move forward.
Very interesting behavior from RoboCat. This is strange.
They're taking big turns to get away from the front. There we go.
Getting behind infrared, that's very bold strategy.
Taking advantage, obviously, of the fact that there's only one drive side.
Popping infrared into the air almost effortlessly, ending up on their head and immediately righting themselves. One good hit from infrared's weapon is all it might take to disable RoboCat. They have to be careful.
They do have to be careful. That is why they are taking their sweet time.
Ooh, infrared going ahead over heels, popped into the air. RoboCat attacking the rear again.
RoboCat almost cornered themselves, though. Can't let that happen.
Now infrared's right-hand drive is slowing down as well. You can see the armor getting peeled away from the front.
RoboCat's weapon is down.
RoboCat's weapon is down.
That was a really bad weapon-to-weapon they got themselves into.
Oh no, the weapon is apparently back. It was able to pop infrared into the air.
Okay, down briefly, we are back up.
Still anybody's game, but infrared is at a massive disadvantage here. Can they pull off a miracle, or is RoboCat gonna cash in another one of its lives?
They have a minute and a half remaining to make something happen.
See a belt laying on the floor there. I can't tell from where.
I think that must be what made RoboCat's weapon go down briefly.
I see another belt torn off the dead drive side of infrared.
As scar tissue. Let it fall off.
It's becoming lighter and more efficient, Dima. Infrared going for a ride on the top of RoboCat and sending a few sparks. into the air in the process. Another big hit, the two of them going weapon to weapon. Infrared upside down. Unable to right itself, unable to drive with only one functioning wheel.
Mitchell ran
the
over
house
call
bot
for that
is
unstick.
coming in, trying for the unstick. RoboCat is trying to block. The weapon is down, but it's back up again on Infrared. It's back in the game, sending RoboCat into the air. And now a drive side is down on RoboCat. They've just tied up the score.
They have 30 seconds to score enough hits to win in the eyes of the judges. Can they make it happen?
They're locked together. Infrared says, you want to take me down? I'm gonna die trying to fight you the rest of the way. Now the weapon is down on RoboCat.
Back up though. We're gonna end, I think, with full weapon on both robots.
10 seconds remaining. This is wild, Dima. And now RoboCat's stuck.
They're calling for their unstick.
They're calling for the unstick. They're unstuck again. But what a way to end the match. As it goes to the judges, both robots functioning weapons, both robots using the Prove It period to show off every ounce of maneuverability they have left.
They are both crab walking the exact same way.
Dima, these two in condition are neck and neck. They are going to be facing almost, if not the exact same scores in terms of condition. It's all going to come down to how the judges score the attack portion of their scorecard. Adam, bring us in. Tell us everything. As the analyst, what did you see in this fight?
I thought that fight was incredible, and I think if you try and look at the judging rules here, RoboCat came out early and hesitant. Infrared was doing everything they could to chase them down, and RoboCat was being, I think, maybe a little bit too patient. Could that cost them in the attack score, especially when the damage is evened up at the end in the condition? That's a close fight, Ricky.
Do you think this is a mindset issue? Like, were they coming in here thinking they don't want to hit them too hard or at least risk a weapon impact? They were just going to kind of wait till they wore themselves down.
Yeah, I mean, were they a little too confident going up against the robot with only one drive side? Anything can happen when you go to the judges, but I don't think that was a clean win for RoboCat by any margin.
No way.
And Infrared had an amazing comeback toward the second half of that fight. They both ended up using their unstick.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight judge's decision, and as you say, I am really glad I am not a judge for this matchup.
All day long, all night long, I think. I'm really happy I am not a judge. These are hard decisions.
All right, let's look at this replay and see if we could figure out exactly what happened in his mind. Why wasn't he being as aggressive as he could right here at the beginning?
So early on, he's looking for a good hit, right? But he's not taking as many opportunities as I think he could. He does send Infrared flying a lot, but it's not doing any damage. The condition is not being deteriorated. Infrared basically ended like they started. But as this fight kept going, Infrared got direct hits. They were so controlled in their driving, learning how to crab walk so well during that fight, and putting the condition score even by the end, if not maybe a little bit in Infrared's favor.
Yeah, that first half of the match definitely went the way of the RoboCat, but that second half of the match, it's not even a toss-up. It's pretty Infrared.
Yeah, a tale of two halves. Who is going to take it home?
All right, let's go to Sam right now. He's got both of our competitors, and he might just have a judge's decision.
Well, as of right now, I just have 12-pound finalist and Mitchell from Infrared. The stress before that match must have felt real. Were you nervous you were even going to get into this fight?
Yeah, I basically rebuilt the whole bot, pulled out some random part of a copy of it I had. I did I was busy with finals, so I did pretty little prep for this. I'm shocked I made it this far. It was stressful, but it's been fun. I'm fine with whatever the outcome of that is.
And Ben, you came into that match really prepared. You had a full, fresh copy of RoboCat, but then you had to wait. How did it feel getting iced out a bit?
I mean, I was ready to go. You know, I stay prepped with 4 copies of RoboCat most of the time, and I'm usually pretty chill. Coming to this match, I was ready to go, and you know, over time that sort of slowed down, the nerves went away. It gave me a moment to relax and really pull myself in.
All right, gentlemen. Well, the judge's decision is in, and your first 12-pound Pro Tour champion is RoboCat. Folks, come on up. Thank you so much for joining us at this very first NHRL Pro Tour. Our fight of the night tonight goes to Colossus versus Fragment X. It was incredible, but folks, thank you once again for joining us live on DAZN for our first ever Pro Tour. It was amazing. You were amazing. These folks were amazing, and quite frankly, I feel amazing. We can't wait to see you at the next one. And until then, we love you and good night.